Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh,
Are you
it's
okay?
a podcast. Oh, that scared me.
Oh, those aren't. Oh, that's not okay. You can't
Oh my
have those
goodness,
in
I was so
decent
scared.
culture.
Oh, you know, I just realized it's not picking up my microphone. Okay, hang on. Okay.
So
One
just like
second,
even
it hasn't
funnier. It
arrived
looks
yet.
even better.
Okay, yeah, that's even funnier because yeah, it did just seem like I was just like randomly like flipping out without any audio. So that is funnier. Okay. Yes, hello, hi, you can hear me now. Oh boy. Let me see. I'm just trying to make sure that everything is running correctly. I have to close this because I think my computer's lagging a little bit. All right, that's fine. You know what? It's okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Gamesline podcast. I'm here and I'm scared because gaming is happening again, and that's always scary.
It never stops happening.
It doesn't stop happening. We just have to keep dealing with it over and over and over again because life is unfair to us all. And also, before anyone says anything, I'm cleaning my sheets right now. That's why it's like that. Okay, so everyone can buzz off. All right, I'm being clean. I'm being cleanly. All right. I'm doing this specifically because I think that because I got new pillows, and I think the covers on the pillows may have something that I'm allergic to on them. So it's been making my ear and my like nose and like the inside of my mouth hurt really bad. So I'm hoping that fixes it. Because if it doesn't, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna have to go to the doctors. Anyway, that's what's going on with me. Yes, hi, it's me, John. Hello, everyone. And this time I am joined by Lily, who has a whole freaking burger on her table. What's going on over there, Lily? What's going on here?
Well, I mean, I can't ape Dante's like whole thing. I also need to be like the hamburger person, I guess. That's allowed, right?
Yeah, I don't think anyone's taken burgers yet in that space.
Mm-hmm. Wait, no, wait. Didn't Nero have a? Oh my goodness.
Did
I'm
Nero
a
have a
dirty
burger?
plagiarist.
You can have a burger. Like it's not like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had pizza before Dante. Like if you wanted pizza, you could have pizza. Pizza's great.
No.
What do you want? What do you want?
I mean, I wouldn't say no to a burger. Anyone can get me a burger.
Then burger it is. You can be burger person.
I am the burger person.
That's fine.
Against my best wishes, I am burger person.
I don't know about against your wishes. You could just be burger person if you want. If you don't want to be burger person, that's fine. Be who you want to be. We're here for you.
This is really a liberating podcast, I think.
We try to be, all right? We're trying to be.
Especially regarding burgers. All right, that's stuff we don't play about.
We don't play about burgers. We don't play about pizza. But we also don't play about salad and salad dressing.
Explaining freedom of.
I might be silent in the stream somehow. I don't know how that happened.
You what?
I've got a partner update that I am muted in the stream.
Oh no!
I'm being silenced.
I can hear you fine on the Twitch screen.
Maybe this is working now. Testing
hello?
1 2.
Hi, it's me.
Okay. I have to make sure that there's no echoing. Okay. All right. I don't know. Look. I started using my headphones. My in-ear headphones because also my neck was hurting. Like I should maybe use smaller headphones. And I don't even know if that was part of it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a mess right now. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm like dying from 3 different things. And we'll figure it out, I guess.
There
but
are
Lily,
other people on the show too.
Yes. Lily, you're here. Let me see who I clicked to be. Rose, you're here. Hello, Rose.
Hi. I'm number 3. Hi. Hello. I'm here. I don't have any food. I guess I have egg toast in front of me. In real life.
Oh, egg toast.
Yeah.
Wait, is that an invisible burger on your overlay? That's such a creative decision. I haven't
Yeah,
thought about making an invisible burger.
It's yeah, it's the ghost burger.
From
I was
Burger
trying to
King.
think. Yeah.
It's a nothing burger.
Um,
I mean, you could just like
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
you could just like apparate a code red, right?
theoretically, yeah.
All right.
I theoretically.
Theoretically.
Yes.
And Nicholas, you are here as well. What are you snacking on? Are you snacking on something?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I
I
think
don't
if
have
he's
anywhere funny to go with that.
If he thinks, I think if he's in Araya, he's the one that is being snacked on.
Yeah,
That's true. Don't get
I've been
digested.
in here for months.
You sure have. I don't know.
I think a lot of people get that far into Xenoblade 2 and then they're there for months.
Yeah. Not a bad place to
How
be,
the hell
though.
do I get into the city? Does the staircase go there? What the hell?
Anyway, now that it seems like all of our technical issues are quelled, gaming can occur. True conversation about gaming can occur. A lot of stuff has been going down. We've got some news. We've got a lot of games that we've been playing. I think we should dive into what we've been playing because like everyone has a bunch of them here. And we could start off with Nicholas. It's been a hot minute since you've been on. Do you want to start us off, or no? Would you rather not?
I'll wait a bit.
Okay. Then Rose. I think it's also been a hot minute since you've been on, right? Do you want to?
It's been I've played a few things in the time since.
Sure. Tell us what you've been up to.
Sure. The first one I'll say is I'll just do what newer releases first. So Ghost of Yotei. I don't remember if I ever talked about that on here.
I don't think so.
I don't think so because I've only played it for like 2 weeks or something, and then I was done with it. That game was almost much better than Ghost of Tsushima in a lot of ways. It looks way better visually. They kind of got rid of their grays almost entirely, which was a big problem I had with the original game. Was their idea of depicting like a war zone area was just add a gray filter that makes everything look bad. And they really fixed it this time around by making it all like autumnal, wintry, and not just like limited to the scope of the colors that would be there. Like when you go to the wintry zone, it would be very vibrant blues or very, very bright, like red trees and stuff like that as you go around and stuff like that. It's a very beautiful game. And I was pretty compelled by this. I wouldn't say compelled is a strong word. Let's not go that far. I was saying the story was much better in terms of being very revenge positive almost. Because I think like, there's a push and pull in morality and cinematic art form constantly. So you had like exploitation films and then push back to exploitation films and then push back to push back to push back to push back. It goes in waves. So we've like with stuff like The Last of Us 2, you have this pushback against like the very gritty post 2001 revenge or violent film. And obviously that game fucks it up in different ways, but it's still like that sort of thing. So it was like I was like, okay, maybe we're seeing this tilt back where like I think most people, especially right now, want honest to God like revenge. They just want like that to revel in the idea of actually getting, payback against something that's bad in your life. There's a horrible bird going by. I don't know if that's picking it up.
Couldn't hear it, but
Okay, good. But yeah, the thing with Ghost of Yotei is it starts out like kind of really establishing that like here's 6 evil guys. They are evil. They are doing bad things. You should kill them.
The 6 shitheads that we all hate.
Yeah, the 6 shithead, the Yotei 6. They even call them very basic stuff, and they're doing great stuff like they force you to write their names on the touchpad of the PlayStation controller at the beginning of the game on her little sash, and then
Pretty
every time she
baller.
kills one of them, she cuts off that she puts the blood stain from her sword, cleans it off on their name to cut it off the list. Like, it's great. This is like martial arts film basic stuff. A lot of things in that game in general feel like they watched a lot of martial arts and samurai film. And then like the last quarter of that game is every NPC going, shouldn't you like just become a mom? Shouldn't you
Oh,
stop killing people and go home and become like a home like what a housewife? And I'm like,
Homemaker.
okay, yeah, homemaker. Thank you. That's what I was thinking of. And it's just like she says no, but the narrative is going, yes, that is what you should do. And it's just like it's crazy because the whole story is setting up how evil these guys are, right? And how you should kill them and how good it is to kill them for the world. Uh, and then they just the end of that game is just a character constantly going like, "What's wrong with you? You're evil for doing this." And then the game going, "It's true. You are evil for doing this. What's wrong with you?" And it's like, what? I, it blows my mind. I think there's something in the water at Sony.
yeah.
Like, I don't know, like the publisher is just like giving out water bottles every time they do a game check-in. Has some sort of poison. But
I mean, I think that that is kind of like a repeated sentiment that we see a lot in pieces of media like this, where any kind of even justifiable anger is violent,
yeah,
and the mindset that a lot of these people get into is like the fucking what is that one policy that like public school has? Like, is it just a no tolerance policy
zero
where it's
tolerance
like
stuff. Yeah.
the just like if you hit back or if you were just the kid getting punched in the head,
Yeah.
you're just as bad as it
Yeah.
takes two to tango or whatever.
At my school,
And
it was sorry to what I found at my schools were that whoever is the person that gets the last punch in and the other person goes down is the one in trouble.
Oh yeah,
Which what
yeah.
I found out through people who would start fights and then when the other person retaliated intentionally lose it so that way they wouldn't be the one in
Mm-hmm.
trouble.
It was similar when I was in school, I think.
great. But the thing that I regularly feel with that kind of thing is it is like a very politically laissez-faire kind of perspective where they're just like, well, we can't say like that political violence is
Yeah.
justifiable. That'll make
Well,
us look bad as a brand.
see, it works
But
perfectly with the fact that Sunker Punch did lay off that character artist for Ghost of Yotei for being happy about Charlie Kirk's murder, assassination, whatever.
I mean, as
Yeah.
long as they're politically coherent, I
Uh-huh.
now at
Well,
least
you
them being
see,
a shithead tracks.
though, you see, the game also posits that it is fine to kill. I think my final tally count, I started counting after the prologue, how many deaths in that game occur. Um, I believe that the main character of Ghost of Yotei, if you do most of the things in that game, not even counting repeatable stuff, if you do most of the core path of that game and then like the bases and all that stuff, kills somewhere between 1,600 and 1,800 people. And that's fine because they aren't the named people, right? They're just guys you kill.
Yeah, that's
Whatever is
okay.
in the water with that studio is the same water that they give to the Uncharted people,
Yeah,
where it is
definitely.
perfectly acceptable for Nathan Drake to kill like 3,000 like unnamed dudes.
But then you get to the special boy, and it's a problem.
This is a named boy.
I think
Someone
it's really
cares about this one.
it's insane that we're still on this because Uncharted, right, is the ludo narrative dissonance spark of the powder keg, right, for years and years because of that specific issue. And then it's like games like Dishonored came out in wake of that, where games like Dishonored actively punish you for killing civilians or not civilians, but like the generic guys in that game. And then you also get the choice of like killing or doing other things to the main targets of that game. And it just feels like that game has its own issues, but that's a much more elegant way of treating the
Mhm.
problem.
It
And it's
is
just like,
funny,
we're back here.
like especially I always kind of find it morally repugnant when a game like thinks that it can be like an arbiter of morality, because you're always going to hit fringe cases where you find out a lot more about the writer's politics than perhaps they wanted you to know.
Yeah.
And especially and also maybe unintentionally in some respects, where it's like, oh, so I can shoot 4 people in the head with a sniper rifle, but as long as I don't kill 5 people, I still get to go to heaven. It's fine.
As long as the last one doesn't have 20,000 followers on Twitter, it's okay.
Oh, true, true. It was like really funny because I was playing Dishonored Death of the Outsider, where the way that it handled morality in that game is so funny, because a lot of these games have this kind of, we will check your moral route through the entire game, but as long as you pick the good decision right at the end, that's the good ending.
Yeah.
And that gets really, really confusing, because it's like, I have paved my way here with a carpet of bodies, but as long as I pick this sad twink up and I say, hey, you don't need to sit in the darkness dimension anymore. And he goes, oh, okay, thank you. Now you're good. You're great. Thanks.
I always figured that that was a main thing that comes into play with games with choices like that. But like this game doesn't even have choices, and it's just like they still feel obligated to do it. It
Um,
blows my mind.
I think I only played like the first half of Ghost of Tsushima, and I noted like they had this kind of weird internal narrative where it's like samurai bushido
Yeah,
is
honor and
good,
stuff.
good and righteous, and the other skill tree, the thief assassin skill tree, is vile and evil. But it also still like, there's not like choices in that game either, are there?
No.
So it's still expected that you're going to pick both, but then it doesn't afford you the agency to say, hey, maybe I will be an upstanding bushido gentleman.
See, there's a fascinating angle to that, which also I do want to say there is one choice you make, which is you get to pick your horse at the beginning of the game. That's very important.
Oh,
And
true,
you get to
true.
pick Digital Deluxe.
This is a DLC horse, by the way.
Yeah,
Digital Deluxe.
and we'll
DLC
be with you the entire
morality.
journey. Yeah. And there is a part of this game very near the end where you get Jin Sakai from Ghost of Tsushima's sword from his house, uh, and they explain the lore of him. And the lore explainer is basically saying, hey, this is a guy who was basically became the first ninja. He was like a guy who decided that he didn't need the path of being a samurai, and he's helped save people's lives by doing this thing that most people didn't think was very good. And I was like, okay, so you sort of are retroactively, going, hey, we think our guy was right, even though the whole game says he's evil. And then she goes, I think I would get along with this guy. And I'm like, all right, sure. But then
Don't
Real
immediately after that, they're like, can you believe it? You let all these people die because you're obsessed with revenge. And I'm like, oh my God.
don't worry. In Ghost of whatever the hell, the third one, the new lady's gonna be completely justified. Everyone's gonna say, "Oh, she was so right to kill all those motherfuckers." But
They'll take place in the
now,
Bakumatsu era where
yeah.
everyone's insane, so it's fine.
Oh,
and
okay.
I really just feel like as a society we need to grasp that narrative doesn't necessarily require us to like, I don't know, argue in the favor of like a character perfectly representing our morality.
Yeah.
Because like when we see things like that, when we see like a character who needs to be a mouthpiece for an ideology, it takes away from like the narrative need, where sometimes I would like to just have a story about a person who wants revenge, And again, I understand, like, it is natural to want to like mouthpiece, and again, writing is fundamentally a perspective of how you see the world. But do we really need to have constantly the kind of character who says, like that one tweet that was basically like, the intended moral response to this scene in
Oh,
Scarface is
Scarface,
that
yeah.
you should be feeling sad right now.
Love that video.
I think like the most fucked up part of this game is I think like it starts to feel like they are going for the angle of like, hey, this character is a samurai who's mainly the one saying revenge is bad and stuff like that. So it makes sense for a samurai to say this stuff. He's a stupid cop. He's a dumbass like dude who is completely like, we have to follow boss's rules or they kill us. Like they're stupid, right? They're just it's the type of thing where it's like the way you would write this narrative like to make sense is that that character is wrong because the rest of the game has proven through its narrative structure that he's wrong. Like you are the one who is solving these problems and doing things. So it's like maybe the answer can lie in the middle, whatever, but it's like it never does that. It goes all the way to no, this guy is right because he's moral. Like, right? Like it sucks. It just sucks really bad. I don't I don't know. I was really disappointed because I thought like most of that game was fine. Like I really liked like some of the characters they introduced are fun. They were doing a lot more like really good camera work for the dual stuff from the first because there was this thing in the first game where you only had stances for your sword. You only used a katana and you just had stances. And then this game has you use like 5 weapons and then also like a bunch of ninja tools that you throw at them and like smoke bombs and kunai and fire bombs and knives and a gun later, a pistol. And it's like you have like all these options and it makes combat feel really interesting when you're like switching your weapon constantly depending on what the other enemies have and stuff like that, and it all flows really nice. And it's like this, see, if you just went and were like, we're going to make a Kill Bill, it would have been fine, like, but it's like they feel like, I was saying to a friend of the site, Wheels, that this game has this issue where it just feels like it's obligatorily doing a bunch of things. Like it has ideas, it has its own soul, but then it feels obligated. And the best example of that is just how they have these child sequences where you play as her when she was a child, going around and doing things. And some of them are just like, yep, I'm getting a horse. So here's the child's memory of her getting a horse and doing tutorials. And it just feels like, okay, here's the part of the battle where you have to turn into a child and walk slowly, like my Metal Gear Solid 4 microwave hallway, like it's just stuff they feel they have to do. And it's so insane reading a design interview that came out for this game last week where they were like, yeah, we almost made that part where you play as the child and turn into the child like 5 times as long. Like we almost made that most like in every area of the game. You would just turn into the child for a while and walk around slowly doing nothing. And it's like, what? Why? Why would you do that to your super slick revenge killing game?
I feel like, again, the thing that we consistently see in this kind of space with stuff like that is there is this kind of unconscious ideal of what a prestige game
Mhm.
needs to have in it. And it's very strange to me that consistently these kinds of games feel this need to take narrative structure from things like movies, which I don't know if I need to say this, but video games aren't movies, last time I checked.
No.
And what would be narratively effective and arresting in like a prestige television show is not so in a video game where you want to play as a kunoichi who stabs people to death with sewing needles.
Yeah.
I Oh, go ahead.
It's so weird. No, I was gonna say it's just a weird game. It's just weird. That's all I was gonna say. It just made me feel really weird when I finished it. Of just like
It
this
it
is, ugh.
It kind of reminds me of the same emotional response I had after finishing Sifu, if anyone has played that.
I haven't yet, but I've heard tell of such similar vibes.
Well, it's the same kind of thing where you can throw a person from a 40-floor high rise and literally watch them snap in half as like the havoc physics fold them on like a
Mm,
banister. But but so help me God, if you punch that janitor one too many times, now you're not of the way.
your root chakra has been destroyed.
Like I can literally recreate that one scene from Pan's Labyrinth where they flatten that guy's head with a beer bottle. But why would I think to extend that mercy to guy who talks like he's evil every time he opens his mouth and he's like, "Oh, you know what? Not hitting me in the head with my own quarterstaff really taught me the meaning of friendship just now."
I mean, it's a larger scale human problem, and I won't get too far into this one. But I was talking with some friends and people about this, and I feel like it really is just like the same brainworms they've always had of, and you saw it in Middle Eastern, anti-Middle Eastern stuff in the early 2000s. But it's the Palestine-Israel thing. It's some people are human and some people aren't, right? Like that's just it feeds into these fucking narratives in the most insane way possible all the time, and just I don't know how we haven't moved past that. I think we should have moved past that like so long ago.
I mean, I feel like again, yeah, as you said, this is just the societal issue, especially when one side of a conflict has a ministry of propaganda and the other
Mm-hmm.
side does not. But I also feel like, again, especially when games are being produced by people who have maybe more than a little vested interest in not offending certain demographics of people, you're always going to have stories that feel like they're playing this internal tug of war where you can tell that maybe one writer was like, yes, it is actually really good to kill people if they want to exterminate you from existence. And then on the other side, it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But if you do it, you're going to feel real sad about it.
Yeah.
With this game specifically, it just also strikes me as they are definitely doing the appeasement you mentioned to a certain degree of like they can't scare away the dad they're trying to sell this game to primarily. Um, but at the same time, it's like they are also like hiring a non-binary actor to play the main character and then not protecting them on social media or making any statements about like defending them. And then they're doing things like trying to put in gay characters and things like that. And then it's like, okay, then why do
At
you
that
care about
point,
appeasing this guy?
it's just tokenism. It's the
Yeah, I
same
know.
thing where it's 10-second Star Wars gay kiss, homophobic slug forever.
Yeah. It's all it is just it's performance, right? It's just what it is. It's
Well, it's the thing I've
uh
said perhaps hundreds of times now, which is that capital does not have a morality.
mhm.
They will sell to whoever has money, and the people who have money typically are the people who screwed over people who didn't. I said people a lot of times in that sentence.
People.
People make up the world.
You sure do.
We live in a society.
We sure
Sure
do.
do.
We
It doesn't even seem like they do in Ghost of Yotei. I need to reiterate, you kill 1,600 to 1,800 people. Do you know how insane that is? Do
That's
you
a
know how
lot.
insane
That's a
that is?
lot.
This is also in the section of Japan that's being colonized. So it's like and they're like talking about that. So like that's the one part of the game that's like okay, but I've said before they have issues where they go like 1990s Native American TV episode where it's like, oh, they have magic powers and they'll teach you about life. And I was like,
Oh
okay.
God.
But they are like talking about like, isn't it fucking crazy that Japan's just like going up here and just taking these people's place or whatever? And it's like, all right, you know, bare minimum, that's like better than most Japanese works treat Hokkaido. So, um, But yeah, it's just like think about that. Think about the fact that they're killing that many people up there. Like I don't uh, that that's everyone. I don't know. That's everyone.
I
This is
mean,
like 1700.
I feel like that's a big issue about like the cognition of numbers. When you're like say an encounter designer and maybe you haven't talked to like the writer or the world builder in a little while, obligately you're going to be like, okay, so our game is kind of about plowing through like a bunch of guys really quickly. So like what's like in a reasonable amount of dudes for one fight? Like 8, 10, 16. And when your game is made out of nothing but fighting 8, 10 to 16 dudes, you kind of realize like, oh, I have like depopulated this entire region.
I just think it comes from the video game's insistence on like blood effects and kill shots and all this. They love killing more than anything. Video games are like obsessed specifically with killing a ton, which is something that's a problem in movies too. But if you look at the movies that would have inspired this, like samurai and martial arts films, they aren't killing a lot of people in most of those. Like if you
Knocking them
watch a
out.
Jackie Chan movie, he's punching a dude and he's falling over. Like he's not exploding into a fountain of blood and then like all his bones are crushed into a million pieces and particle effects everywhere, you know? Like, whereas this is like, you are cutting a dude's head off every 15 seconds. And that's like crazy. And it's just like, I feel like it's that they can't like realize that, oh, maybe we don't have to kill everyone. Like, there are plenty of games, like Sleeping Dogs is a great game that I can point to where most of the time when you finish a fight in that game, they are on the floor going, or whatever. Like, you aren't punching them to death most of the time.
I also feel like in that same kind of way, we seem the same problem where every game forgets that it isn't Doom 2016 and you don't need to do
Yeah.
the one-upmanship game where it's like, all right, guys, we're coming up with like a really epic finisher
We
at
got a
the end of a
glory
staff
kill, yeah.
meeting. What can a protagonist do? It's like, oh, what if she like what if she like hits him with the jutsu that explodes all of his blood into an attack that lowers your frame rate? Oh, that's great. That's great. We'll go with that.
This is like, what should we ever do? What if she cuts off both of their hands and they fall to the ground and bounce around? And I'm like, why? That's crazy. And you do that to most enemies, like, not just a guy. And then she goes home and goes, I feel bad about what I did. And it's like, what do you? You're gonna do it tomorrow. Anyways, very funny game. I don't know. It's better than Ghost of Tsushima, I still think, in a lot of ways. But it's one of those things where as you get further and further in, the dissonance just keeps growing. And you're like, this is makes me feel insane.
At least if you're like having a game that is excited about violence, you should make it so like write the story like that because
Yeah.
it's the same problem where it's like it's not like these kinds of games give you the option to like there's a
Non-violently.
glory kill and then there's the caca demon on the head button.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the big thing is it's like if you're going to whine to me about honor, present me with an option. But this is the Last of Us problem too, is it's like the Last of Us Part 2 will like you could maybe not kill anyone in that whole game and then you'll get to a thing and she'll just start killing people like brutally because it's like you don't have agency over the situation even if they want the illusion of it like
Well, it's the
uh,
juxtaposition between in-game Ellie and cutscene Ellie,
yeah.
where she is like a violence golem in the actual cutscenes of that game. And the
But then she's
reason
stealthing everything else.
but the thing of the matter is that if you want me to feel stuff about the violence, it needs to be my choice.
Yeah.
Or even hey, encounter designers, tabletop games have figured this out for years, but the conclusion to every conflict doesn't need to be a sword inserted into a trachea.
Yeah. I think it's just funny with this game how they make all of them so evil. That's all I can keep thinking is they make them all so evil that it's like by the time you get to the end of that game and he's telling you to stop, it's like and let like this warlord guy keep killing children. Like that's literally like the levels that they're at. They're like literally like every farm you go to is like they killed all our children. Oh, we're all alone, we're all sad. Here's like a pile of dead bodies of all my friends, and he did it, and he made me watch, and like all this stuff. And it's like, and we're just supposed to go, all right, I'm going home.
No,
Like,
I'm just like you for stopping you from doing that more. Like, oh,
yeah, it's just like, okay.
I mean, we've been having the same problem for years, and again, I've already said it. You've already said it. It's the same. It's the same kind of politics that exists where people are like, "I can accept the banality of the status quo," but the second you're violent in the name of changing things,
no.
Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry for all that. Most of Yotei.
How's that horse though?
Still digital deluxe, baby.
Yeah. Is it canonically the same horse, or is it from the same
It
like?
is color wise, it definitely is. This does take place, I think, 300 years after Ghost of Tsushima. Because if you remember, the funny thing about Ghost of Tsushima is they tried to make it novel by taking place not in the Edo period of Japan, which didn't make him being a samurai make any amount of sense since there were no
Right.
shoguns or anything at that period of time. But whatever.
But
Uh, yeah.
now it's just
So
in the Edo period.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They were just like, fuck it. And honestly, yeah, that's the right move because you can fucking pull out a gun,
Yeah.
right? Like that's what you want. You want to do the showdown at the beginning where you hold your blade and then the guy comes at you and you just slice him as you dash past and then you pull out a pistol and just blow a guy up, right? That's what you want.
Thank you for sharing about your ghosts.
Yep.
All right, Nicholas, are you ready to speak, or do you?
Um,
All
I'm
right,
not sure which of my games I should go with for.
whatever you want. If you want me to pick,
I
I
guess
will
I
pick.
should. I guess I should start with Disgaea 4
Sure.
as somewhat technically a continuation of the idea of a game about political change.
Okay,
So
interesting.
Disgaea 4 is well, first I should say I like the Disgaea series a lot. It is a very trashy series, I will say. It has a very immature sense of humor, and its entire shtick is just parodying tactics games and trying to push them out to their logical extreme in every single direction. Like, what if we made it so your characters can be level 999,999, that like 9999999
Yeah.
level and have 999999999 stats and everything? Like, that's the basic shtick of, let's take this concept and let's make it as extreme as possible and over the top, and it's impossible to take seriously. And that's very evident in the first and second games not really having any elements of their stories or concepts taking themselves like seriously at all. One like kind of pretends to have a story, but it doesn't really have anything super deeply involved. And then two just doesn't at all. But four, I haven't played three, so I may be
Three's pretty good.
missing I may be missing a crucial transitional period for the series tone. But four is like very specifically like a political game. Like, all of the mechanics have been replaced with more politically themed ones. Like, oh, you used to always go to the Dark Assembly and like go into a courtroom where people had to vote on certain bills you would pass that would like unlock new characters or make enemies stronger or unlock new levels. And now it's like, okay, now you need to appoint all of your party members to senators. You're making them as politicians for your political party. There are little cutscenes of them, and you can talk to them on this political board of like the territory that you want to be the ruler of, where they'll state their election strategies and how they're going to commit voter fraud, which, because they're demons in the underworld, that's a good thing, and people want them to do that. And everyone, like, the more scummy and dirty and awful you are, the better of a politician you are. And it's kind of fun to see like that sort of irreverent political parody tone in like retrospectively looking back on it, when nowadays I feel like even something trying to take the piss out of it would like try way more to play into the current events side of it. Whereas here it's like all very non-specific and just like, yeah, these are the stock jokes that we would make about corrupt politicians, and they're all the good guys because you're in hell and corrupt politicians are the cool thing. So I think that's a very interesting jumping off point of like trying to establish the tone. And I also think that it's kind of, I don't know if it's like good or bad or even meaningful, but I think it's kind of interesting that so much of the story is just this unabashed, like direct, okay, you know what we need to do? We need to go see the president that rules the underworld, and everything has gone to shit. We need to meet this guy. We need to beat the shit out of this guy and kill him and take over office because he is making life hell for every single person. And I think that's a really interesting, like, narrative direction for a game that is also making all of your politicians that work for you and are on your side also very explicitly shitty politicians that are like jumping off points for that kind of humor. I think it's kind of fun to have something that's just like, yeah, both of these sides are made up entirely of shitheads who are delusional idiots that will probably make the world worse for everyone, but we are in hell, so that's a good thing. I think that's a very fun tone for the game because it's obviously not taking itself seriously, and I kind of appreciate that.
Yeah, an amount of irreverence can go a long way in helping solve these things, right? Because it's like the antithesis of prestige. They're not pretending they have the illusion of meeting some grand moral objective. They're just able to fucking just do whatever.
Yeah, it's fun and nice to get rid of corrupt, evil people. So we should do that. And any more serious story beats that we're going to like pretend we have are going to be like familial relations or romantic relations, stuff that isn't tied to politics at all because it's more fun that way. It's nice to like just play a game and have it both have like a dedicated story that it will spend hours worth of cutscenes on, like an RPG, but so many of those are just having fun. I like that. It's a nice change of pace from a lot of the other RPGs, like long form ones that I've been playing, where they will spend that much time on a story, but it's a more serious and intensive story instead of just, yeah, we're gonna dick around for like 15 minutes every single map and we're gonna hope it's gonna be funny. This game's a lot funnier than 1 and 2 because it's a lot better at avoiding, okay, I'm the character that has the joke where my chest is flat. I'm going to make that the thing I talk about all the time. I'm a character who has the joke where I talk like a superhero from like 20 years ago. I'm going to do that all the time. I'm one who gets called the R slur by every single other character, and I
Oh,
don't
that's
actually talk. Uh, and I'm not gonna make it. 4 has like a couple gag characters, but I like the gags a lot more because they feel more like targeted towards Disgaea's tone. Like one of them is a like cute tiny little monster girl who wants to be the final boss of the video game,
cool.
but she's stuck as a party member. So she's like trying to take notes from all the villains and playable characters on like how to be a more dangerous final boss for when she gets to have her own game that she is the final boss of.
That's cute.
Or like there's a or like a party member who thinks, "Oh, well, I'm in hell, but I'm a sentient. I can think. I'm not dead. This must be a dream." And so she spends the entire game just like everything in this game is operating off of dream logic. So who cares? I can just do anything because I'm dreaming. And then she can just do anything because she's dreaming. It's really fun to have characters that have jokes that like, wow, these are tied into things like the game's absurdist level cap or the game's absurdist attack animations. And these are playing into the identity of the series more specifically than just like generalist raunchy parody humor. I like that aspect a lot, and it helps that they're a fun party when they're being more serious too. I like the character dynamics, but whereas in the other games it's like, whatever. You have a main protag who's like, oh, I'm a jerk demon, and then everyone else just kind of sits there in the first game. Well, Flan doesn't just sit there in the first game, but it's like they're not a super deep party in 1 or 2, whereas in 4, it's like there's direct like character webs and interactions that make scenes. Whenever everyone talks in a scene in this game, I'm very happy about it, and characters talk a lot together in this game. It's a very interconnected party. I really, really like that dynamic. It's fun. I want more games where characters can just dick around and have fun talking to each other about stupid shit, like how they want to be the final boss, or how they're in a dream, or how the protag's main bit is that he just really really loves sardines and fish, and he's just obsessed with them. And I think that's probably the closest thing to an annoying bit because that doesn't play into anything specifically. But it is nice that his voice actor, I have to give props. I think it's Troy Baker. I'm pretty sure it's Troy Baker. He has really, really good voice direction in this game. Alva Torres is an extremely well done. I like it a lot. He is I don't know if favorite RPG protag voice acting is too extreme praise to give to him, but there are a lot of times where his voice performance is carrying a lot of scenes. I don't think there's any other RPG voice actor or protagonist I can say does that certifiably as like the main one. Closest I can think of is probably Shulk, but I'm also probably just saying that because of there's the one cutscene that everyone praises before, and not on any personal opinion. Like I might just be uh stereotyping it onto myself, stereotyping that opinion on myself. But yeah, it's a good fun game. It's nice to play one of these games that is irreverent and comedic and also is earnestly trying to be fun in a like normal story way and actually have a story that is not super deep but still fun and fulfilling instead of Disgaea 1 and 2 just kind of being here random events going on in a linear order that kind of resembles the story.
Yeah.
Good game. Good game. I also like how much stuff there is to do in the item world. The character world is a cool addition so far. I think this game is. I'm excited to actually finally go on like fully commit to doing the long ass post game for one of these guys because this one is really fun. It's probably the easiest one to like break into because I never really had much fun getting over the hurdles to break into the post games of 1 or 2, but 4 was really nice. I think I don't know. It's a hard game to talk about because so much of it is ultimately okay. Go like grind and beat the shit out of enemies in a square for a couple hours and see what the best way to optimize that is because you like it when numbers go up in a video game. And
I
it's
mean, I
fun
do.
and it's good, but it's hard to talk about. Okay, here's the specific ways in which numbers going up in a video game are awesome in a way that's generous enough to someone who hasn't played those games.
But numbers go up, and it's cool, and that's all you really need to know. Like numbers go up.
They
It's
do go up, but they go up in every game.
yeah.
Not like that though.
They go up in every Disgaea game like that.
Well, yeah.
They go up in this game, and there isn't someone getting called the R word everywhere. So that's a good combo.
Thank you, Disgaea 4.
This guy, it's so
The
frustrating that
bar
Disgaea 2.
is very low.
Disgaea 2 would be like the best game ever if it just didn't have character writing at all. If no one in that game was written whatsoever, it would be awesome. But they are, and I don't like it's gas.
It is.
I like the main 2 characters fine enough, and then everyone else I don't.
All right. Yeah, I mean, we could. I don't know. Maybe there's like an ableism removal mod or something. I don't know. We'll have
I'm
to
sure
figure that out.
there's got to be a one out there somewhere.
All right. Lily, would you like to regale us about something that you've been playing lately?
So it has been a little bit since the last time I was on the podcast. I was busy with all of the Halloween streams, and then I immediately started writing again. This is a check-in. This is like a wellness report, but I finished Trails from Zero.
Yes.
Oh.
I
Yay.
have not started any new Trails games.
Good.
And the reason for
Congratulations.
that, the reason for that is because I didn't want to do the same thing I did with Trails that I did with Final Fantasy XIV, where I just did nothing but 14 for like a year and a half and went from Heaven's Ward to Endwalker in that amount of time.
Oh,
Don't play the game that way. Don't be like
no.
me. But in an attempt to get back to the version of me that I'm more interested in being, I have accidentally made this DMC autumn.
Oh
That is-
no.
That's a beautiful thing to be in.
I'm watching the leaves fall from the trees. I stole a soul for a second chance. Um, and I started playing through. I felt the craving to play 3 first because, like, let's be honest, DMC 1, really good game. It is not.
It's a Resident Evil game.
Yeah, it's basically Resident Evil. And I, funnily enough, I know I literally just finished an article, but as I played it, this thought started forming in my head, and I'm already slowly starting to come up with another article idea. So I will hold on to that. But I played through all of DMC4, I want to say in like 2 sessions,
Wild.
because I don't think that game is actually that long. Like
No, it's
when
not.
you
It's
actually know what you're doing.
deceptively long, but that doesn't mean it's long, right? Like it's one of those things where it's like you get to Dante stages and you're like, oh wow, okay, all right, there's still more to this game, and then you go, oh wait, these Dante stages are very short.
I mean, I will say the bosses in that game are not fucking designed for Dante in mind.
No, but that's
Dante
like a
can.
character action problem broadly, I think.
Well,
90%
they
of the
just.
time.
They don't have enough health for the amount of
Mhm.
damage that Dante can do. And Dante, with his fist weapon in that game, can literally like half
Can
health
match.
every boss in that
Ugh.
game.
It's ridiculous. I do think, that could be a potent metaphor for the fact that Dante is showing up and ruining Nero's beautiful hero's journey he should have had, where he did a normal amount of damage to things
Mhm.
because of marketing's interjection into the game development process.
To think about.
It does fascinate me like a little bit, because like you wanna talk games that don't engage with like the material reality of the player's actions. DMC is one of those. Not a criticism, just kind of like a reality. But Dante is not like a superhero, you know? He is in this to beat people's asses and then leave. Like he's not the one rebuilding Fortuna afterward. He's like, "All
Yeah.
right, great." And I think the funniest part about that game is like this late game cutscene where it just reveals that Dante could have destroyed the Hellgates at like any point. He just didn't. Like there are demons literally flooding into the city, and he's just like, "All right, I'm gonna punch this one," and it just blows up. And it's like, well, why did you just like let Nero do that? And the funny thing is, it is perfectly in character But it is
Yeah.
also perfectly hilarious that Dante is the kind of person who will have like, oh well, like 500,000 people died, but like I saved the day in the end. Why are you even mad at me?
I mean, you have to wonder how many of those happen in that world. That's all I can think all the time is what is even the situation where it's like this happens in Spain, this happens in fucking Redgrave, which is non-denominational Italian town, city, whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
we're led to believe that Dante is like constantly doing jobs, and the jobs he's doing are like taking care of like one demon, and he's just real depressed about it. Like
yeah,
he needs
that is the
explosive
TV show.
situations. Yeah, he needs explosive situations like this to like deal with to pull himself out of depression. But also, I just think the really interesting thing about it all is like in a game like this, you're right. We don't know how often this is happening because it's not like a World of Darkness situation where it's like, oh, humanity just doesn't know about this. Yet, at the same time, we have this problem that it seems happens where a gigantic demonic tree will grow in the middle of your town and it has hypodermic needle tendrils. And then you'll sit there and you'll go, I'll take a TikTok of that.
Yeah.
Whatever. This will definitely not kill me. And then that's how Devil May Cry 5 starts, where people are just like sitting outside of the Clyfoth and they're just like, that's fucked up. That's not where that's supposed to be.
And you got that soldier who's like, what the hell is that? And they go, they're demons.
Yeah, it is really confusing because you're not like sure how much common knowledge like hell existing in the game series is. Because like the random rent-a-cop just like unloads on like the impusas and his assault rifle doesn't do jack shit. And I think the funniest line that that guy utters is, "You're gonna die, you one-armed son of a bitch."
Yeah, I love that. You're up, crew
I
cut.
I just fucking love Devil May Cry so much. Like
Me
on
too.
on so many levels, it's just it is what happens when you let the juice control every part of game design. Like, does it make sense for the Red Queen to be a motorcycle sword? No, but it feels good. We
Sick.
we added haptic feedback to your controller so you can feel it revving and it vibrates your whole controller while it's fully charged. We are here for the juice and nothing else.
I think it, I know there's that video of that guy like throwing off his headset and walking away, but Dr. Faust is like the most insane one to me still. That's like, yes, you have soul in your soul. Like you can do anything.
I
Even
mean,
something as Quicksilver in DMC3. It's stupid, but it's awesome.
well, I also think that like relating to like what Nikolas was saying earlier, right? Irreverence isn't necessarily the opposite of being genuine.
Yeah.
You can believe things in an irreverent way, the same way you can be an ingenuine writer and irreverent. Sea of Stars. Motherfucking Sea of Stars. Oh my god. But
I looked
but
it
yeah,
up. I cannot fucking believe you were being serious. Someone is actually named Captain Cliche in that game. I was like, no, there's
yep.
no way that's not the make it. No, no, oh, no. That is the name.
It's too real.
That is the name.
I I I felt like I was in like a fully coolie bit when that happened. Like I felt my eyebrows fall off my body and I needed to paper them back on. But yeah. Devil May Cry Autumn is still underway. I still have to finish DMC 5. I've been taking like a new tact with gaming lately. And it was started as kind of a joke, and then I started actually kind of liking it, which was doing what I've been calling Aura Farm percent run of DMC. Like Dante's not in a hurry. He's like he looks like your dad who couldn't be bothered to shave to go on like the way to like his alimony hearing. He ain't running everywhere. So I just have him walk. I don't care if it gets the time rating lower. He's ambling. He's a gay cowboy.
Sure.
And I just feel like it adds to the experience, you know? You're not here playing Devil May Cry as an efficiency exercise. You're here to style on people.
That's exactly right. That's the whole point of the game. This is what I always think when people talk about the more in-depth action mechanics. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care if there's an optimal way to do it. It doesn't matter. The whole point is it looks cool. That's the whole point. Maybe using the gun move is less strong than just using the motorcycle for literally everything in that entire game, but it doesn't matter. It looks awesome when you fucking start shooting something and then you can point behind him with the other gun and he's shooting both ways.
Mm-hmm. You're in it. You're in it for the style. And it's what makes DMC2 such a travesty.
Yeah, there's no style except for his fit, which is immaculate.
Spoken sexy style at all.
Honestly,
People forget that Lucia is even in that game.
I don't. I die every day. I mourn the choose in the DMC5 novel.
Oh.
And then they never did like. They should have done the Girls' Night DLC. I'm telling you, they should have done it. Like it would have been so good. I think that's my favorite thing about. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was watching Lily play some DMC5 last night, and I said that exact thing. So
Yeah,
literally the exact same words.
I mean, because DMC5's only problem to me, realistic. Well, I have two problems. One is that it's the fucking environments, right? And that's just modern gaming. That's not even a DMC5 specific thing. It's like they're structurally fine, but visually kind of
very noisy.
Yeah, compared to like Devil May Cry 3, right? You're like in the fucking room and you know you're in a fight in this room. I don't know. The way that they treat Trish and Lady in that game sucks so bad. And it's just so weirdly regressive.
Well, they almost literally get put on a bus.
Yeah, like the combination of that and then also like the and here they are naked, haha, isn't it funny? Is like, okay, like I don't get it. The series doesn't really care about that, you know, like they would just have them do something. I don't know.
Kyrie is miss not appearing in this game.
Yeah. And they could have fixed it. I just think it's crazy because I love Devil May Cry 4, especially once they did special edition, because you just get the most insane toxic polycule energy from them every time they're in a scene. Dante, Lady, and Trish. It's like insane. And then it's gone.
I mean, like, I think the funniest thing is, especially in DMC4, is like Dante actually takes DMC5 super seriously. DMC4 Dante is he is just chewing the scenery. He really just is the gay cowboy who doesn't know what sex is, toting around with his two bisexual weed smoking girlfriends.
Exactly. It's such a vibe. And then 5's like, well, Virgil's back, so we gotta, you know.
Well, in 5, Lady and Trish are just sexily wafing in his office, eating cold pizza,
giving him swords and guns that they use. Ugh.
It's sad, but like their sacrifice does also contribute to Dante's moveset in that game being like the
Being
best
the most insane moves.
the
'Cause he has
best
all of them.
moveset in any
They combine so much
character action
movement.
game. Which, like,
Ugh.
you know, listen, I'm not for the sacrifice of women's rights for men's cool movesets, alright? But, you know.
But also, when you see him do the Devil Sword Sparta spinning throw, and again,
It's pretty
like,
good!
alright.
It's
Yeah.
pretty good!
You know, I have heard a lot of like YouTubery types talking about like, oh my god, Doom Eternal is a game so complicated you play it and having an aneurysm. And it's like, play Dante DMC5 for
Yeah.
like 10 minutes and you will feel your brain
You're the
starting to
dog
short out.
getting the 5G needle put in your brain.
You're like, oh, swap gun, swap style, swap sword, oh, brain
Royal
aneurysm.
Guard now, this one.
Good. It's a great game. Great game.
But it's beautiful, yeah. It's beautiful.
You're right, and I think I realized it doing my ambling playthrough with the environments where the city itself doesn't really have that much visual appeal other than the Clyfoth sitting there. Like I
Yeah.
imagine a person sitting in Redgrave being like, "You want to know this town needs? It really needs like a big evil tree." And then the big evil tree grew, and he's like, "Oh, perfect."
We just had that giant hole in the middle of the city.
But it's really boring otherwise. Like it almost needs to be destroyed to be visually interesting.
Yeah.
And then the
I mean-
Clyfoth itself is like H.R. Giger's meat palace.
Yeah. I like its usage of red at times to help break things up and distinguish what's an environment for combat, almost like the Clypoths, glow up red or whatever when you're in certain areas. But it's like it needed more red. It really needed we needed I don't know, a sea of blood or something. It just comes apart like the same way I think like most modern games. Like I said, it just has that gray everywhere, that gray and blue.
Oh well, the inside of the tree is purple.
That's true. The
We have
inside
a
of the tree
third
is
color.
purple. Ugh.
Those
And
are
I
those are
understand
different
that part of
colors
it-
than usual though, which is nice-ish.
I guess so.
I mean, I also understand like it's an issue with character action games not in the DMC line or in the Platinum line, where you almost need the protagonist to be the most colorful thing on the screen because if you can't see them behind all of the particle effects and
Yeah.
all of the exploding and all of the blood and like okay, Elden Ring is obviously not a character action game, but in the late game of like seeing some of the DLC, I'm like, I don't understand how you can see what's happening.
Yeah. Everything just has that weird filter over it, right? Like it's just that brownish something that just makes everything turn to mush. Watching my girlfriend play Dark Souls 1 again recently, for real, was noticing oh my god, everything stands out. Every single thing in this world stands out from each other.
And then like again, I understand like wanting environments to be beautiful. Like yeah, I like my screenshot opportunities too, but like not being able to see your character on the screen in a character action game is uniquely frustrating.
Shouldn't be the case ever.
And it's so hard to balance having environmental interest while also having a game worth playing in those environments. And yeah, I understand why it's so fucking hard.
I do want to point out that a while ago Maverick did post a P of farts. The
Wow.
stars. Need to let you know. I didn't want that to be
I'm clapping.
That's true.
Yeah.
I did reply
Full
in the
time.
chat with a really scary looking Santa emote that they have right now for Twitch. I don't know what's going on with
dear.
that. I think he's doing
Do we have evil Santa?
I don't know if he's evil. He's doing a lean thing. I think he's doing the Willy Wonka meme, where he's like.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Oh, so we have We have King Harkinian Santa.
Kinda. If it was just King,
Their figures.
they are kinda, yeah. I mean, they are both extremely powerful, have big beards, help everyone ever with everything wrong.
Bestow gifts.
No gifts. Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Well, we have been going for about an hour already, so I'm gonna talk about some stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I finished Digimon Story Time Stranger. I don't remember if I had or
You had not.
had not. Okay. Well, I did finish it. And I'm currently writing the review, but real mixed about that. Real mixed. By the time that game ends, I just felt like it didn't go the places that it needed to go. I felt like a lot of the game's problems were in its characters, in the main character specifically. There's a lot of concepts surrounding them that are introduced and then just kind of fall off and don't really go anywhere. And there's a lot of stuff that is very unnecessary and doesn't need to be there whatsoever. Like the fact that you have your they have like the two main characters, which are just like, oh, do you want to play as the boy or the girl or whatever, and whichever one you don't pick is just on the phone constantly bugging you about the same three things. It's either, oh man, your adopted father would be so proud to see you if only he was still around. I wonder what's happened to him. Or, if things don't get fixed, the bad thing is going to happen. So you better fix it. And then, or, you better be careful because if you don't fix this, everyone's gonna die. I'm probably gonna die right now because things are looking real bad. And then, like, 5 minutes later, he calls you again. It's like, dude, like, shut up. Like, god damn it. Holy shit. Like, there has to be a mod that is just shut them up. Like, literally, there has to just be a mod that is skip all their dialogue. Because none of it matters, and it just sucks. It's so annoying. And then, I don't want to go into spoiler territory. I may dip a little bit into it in the review, just, like, maybe in, like, a little section or whatever. But, something that I really didn't like is how, inconsistent the main thrust of the story is. At a certain point, this game's about time travel. It's called Time Stranger. And the game is very inconsistent about its how important the laws are of time travel. They treat the main Digimon guy, Agiomon, using time travel for certain reasons, as a grave issue that is destroying everything. And like, the game is pushing the idea of you should move forward instead of just like being obsessed about the past, which is fine, but at a certain point, like, I can't get over this. It's crazy that they did this. At a certain point, you have like a little meeting with like representative versions of. Okay, so in Digimon, let me explain. In Digimon,
He's got his hands up.
Yeah, I said, like, all right.
in Digimon, there are 3 like main servers. Because originally it was just like, oh, it's the digital world. And then I don't know when exactly, but they decided to go, oh, but there's actually 3 servers. There's 3 different digital worlds. And so I think the one that like is from the original anime, that's the one that's like Yggdrasil. And then the one that this game is in is Iliad, which is like Greek mythology themed. And then there's a third one that's, I think, like Samsara or something like that. I think that's what it's called, but it's like kind of like, I think it's just like more Asian mythology. Like, most of the stuff that they've shown so far has been Japanese mythology, but I think they might be doing some like Indian mythology stuff too. But you like go and have a meeting with like, they like anthropomorphize the servers for some reason. They're just like sitting in a room and they're like 2 girls and a boy like sitting and having tea. and it's just like, oh, that's King Drasil right there. That little girl sipping tea. That's like the computer that runs the Yggdrasil server, you know. Um, and she just goes like right around when you're about to hit the like point of no return. She just goes, oh, you know, I realized there are some things that you did not get done because I missed like one sub story. And I was like, okay, they're giving me like a chance to go back in time to do that. And then not only that, but then they just dump a bunch more side quests on there, and so you have to go back in time to do a bunch more stuff that you would not have been able to do anyway. So it's like, okay, yeah, the entire thrust of this game is you should go forward, and then I hit a point where it's like,
But it's a video game.
yeah, it's just, you know, like it's that whole ludonarrative dissonance thing that we were talking about earlier. And it's one of those things where it's like, you know, like I get it, you know, it would have been like, because again, I missed one sub story because it was like during some weird segment where I would have had to like very specifically go out of my way to go talk to somebody to do it the first time. But again, like even if I did do that, they dump a bunch of other side quests onto you, so it's not like you're, even if you did it perfectly, it's not like they still expect you to do that. And you have to do those side missions. Because if you don't do enough side missions, you can't level your Digimon up further. Like, you can level them to level 99. You can't, like, I don't think you can hit, like, Mega level or above if you don't do that. So, you have to do that if you want to get the big, strong dudes. Like, if you just want to be stuck at Ultimate, it's like, then yeah, then you can actually follow the path of the story that makes sense. But no, I want Diaboromon! Like, come on! Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that is pretty frustrating. Like, I think that they should not have had two separate characters. Like,
Uh-huh.
in the fact that you know, like the character that you play as, and then there is this girl Inori who is like Aegyomon's like kind of partner. She sees him as like a little brother, and they do have some good moments, but I genuinely think that they should have just had you play as Inori, or combine the roles of the agent and Inori into one character, because then it would have hit a lot harder. Because for like 90% of the game, you're just like there. It's basically just like Inori just can't command Digimon, so you just do all the fighting, and she's just kind of there, just like, okay, all right, well, I'm here for my brother, I guess. And it's just like, why couldn't she just have Digimon? Like, like that was
Like
that
it's
was the
like
whole
your
point.
dad.
It's literally like what I was saying earlier with the Ghost of Yotei. It's the obligation, right? They have this idea that, you know, the other Digimon Story titles let you pick. Well, the first one did anyway. I know that the second one makes you play as that guy or whatever, right? But they were like, oh, we
Yeah,
need to get back to that. And then this game was also in development for what, 7 years or
it was
something
it was
insane
almost
like
a
that.
decade. Yeah.
Oh my god. And it's like I guess that like you just run into this weird confluence of like, how do we fix things? How do we remove things? How we just keep adding things? But then it's just like, yeah, this is a video game, right? It's a JRPG, so we have to have the post game, and we can't think of like a way to separate it from like in a more interesting way. Like we can't just have a, they're all scared of the post game world is what makes me really sad about every JRPG, right? Is it's like they want to alter the world state so significantly when you finish a JRPG that they can't imagine this idea of having some extra time at the end. And I wish they would, because it's fun. In Pokemon Gen 4, when you get to go to the fucking battle area at the end, it's like, let's fucking go, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I bet they're just like really work, because Digimon, it has so many people working on so many different things. Like, because yeah,
Yeah.
because this was supposed to be like the big premiere of the Iliad server story, basically. Like, they were kind of like trying to introduce these characters a bit more. But those characters had already shown up in some like MMO card battler. Like, that was actually when Iliad like first premiered. So it's like I looked up these characters. So it's like I like some of them. Like, legitimately, they do a good job with some of those characters. Like um one of the better storylines is about Neptune Mon and oh god, it's not Junomon. It's oh, start with an L. It's two of the Digimon though. It's like because they're all like basically just different Greek gods. but there's like a big like political intrigue going on between like because the two sides of the conflict are like it's like the Olympiads and then the Titans, you know, so it's, you know, like Greek, Roman mythology, all that stuff. And so Neptunemon was originally on the Titan side, but he's saved by um the other Digimon. I'm gonna um but so there is just this like kind of back and forth thing of like them not fully understanding each other's identities, and then um you know, just having these bits where they're just like, you know, we have to fight each other, do we have to you know, like like, you know, they're trying to figure out like who's gonna kill each other, who can we stay on the same team, or like what are we doing. um and like I think that's interesting, that's fun, and they go places with that. um but I just think that like the overall story, um where is Venusmon, who is the lady, the healing lady. um I think they do a very good job with those characters and, you know, some of the other stuff. But yeah, there's just like video game aspects of it that are frustrating, and I don't know. I like like the thing is that it is absolutely still like the, I don't know if I want to say it's the best Digimon, because I don't know if it is, but it is the most like mainstream recommendable game, because it is like the most no frills. Just if you just play on normal, get through that game without doing anything crazy, with no issues whatsoever. Um, if you want to go insane after you beat the game, there's a Mega Plus thing where you literally have to like max out your stats, or you just don't win. Like the first battle that you get in, like the first like little like Mook Digimon that you run into has like 9,999 attack. That's the cap. You know, it has like the cap attack. So if you don't also have that, you're fucked. Um, which like I kind of respect that, but it's also just crazy. Like people are having to do all kinds of like weird like cloning tricks and like things to make it so grinding takes like only 20 hours instead of 500.
Yay.
Yeah, it's just there was a little bit where I was like gonna start doing that, but then I was just like no, because like part of it, like, you know, there was a bit where I was like, you know, maybe it could be kind of fun to do that just in like the concept of having to like make like parties based on different fights, you know, kind of like an SMT sort of thing. But then also people started to figure out like, no, you just need like these like 5 or 6 Digimon, and you just have them, and those are the ones, and you just max them out, and then you can get through Mega Plus no problem. And it's like, oh, okay. But again, it's not horrible, and like if they make another one like this and they just tighten up the, 'cause I think some of a lot of the problems with the story are just because this is probably just written and rewritten over and over again over like 9 years, so that's probably why. But yeah, like the main, like the character that you play as is like not important whatsoever, except to be like the one who fights until right at the end, and then I think the twist that they do with that character is really stupid. Um, I won't say what it is on the podcast, but I mean I'll say it once we're off the air in case you're curious. Because it's dumb, and it's just like overly complicated, and like I was just sitting there the entire time that they were like talking you through what it really was, and there were like 3 separate occasions where I was like, wait, that's what that means, and then they would keep explaining stuff, and it would be almost something completely different. And I was just like, well, okay, I'm just not gonna like try to figure this out until you are done talking. Like just be done, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm going to absorb this now. um it's whatever, you know, it's fine. I mean, I finished it. You know what? All I'm gonna say is I finished it before the TCG set started getting revealed, so I don't gotta worry about spoilers. So I'm good for that. I can be like, oh, that's why they're putting that's why that card does that, because this is what they do in the game. That's fun. I get to have fun with that. for the card game. I get to do all kinds of little like, oh, that's cute when I open the pack. So that's what I'm looking for.
That's what a Digimon's all about.
Yeah, brand synergy. Yeah. I mean, dog. I mean, I talked about it on when I finished Hacker's Memory, but when they were like, "Oh yeah, here's the like main villain Digimon from the manga that I had just finished reading," I was like, "Yeah!" Like, it was good. It was good, and I mean, whatever. Yeah, I mean, again, though, I would recommend it to people who just want like a Monster Trainer RPG. It's a good one of those. It's starting to go on sale for like $50 now, so I mean, I would say maybe wait until it's like a little cheaper. But it's fine. I think it's fine. But I will say, speaking briefly about sales, I did get one over on Target.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Apparently,
good. First of all, that's good.
they did an ad that said that you could get Persona 3 Reload for Switch 2 for $25, and then I guess that was a misprint. But then Wario64 was like, "Hey, here's that ad posted on their website still. Why don't you try that out?" And you know what? It worked. I brought that page to the Target people, and I was like, "It's on your website." They price matches. So there you go. I got Persona 3. I'm not gonna play it yet though, because apparently it runs like shit still. They did say
Which is insane.
is insane. It is insane. But they did say they're gonna patch it. So I'm just gonna.
That's good. Can't wait to see their Metaphor port in a year.
I know, right? I'm shocked they haven't announced that yet. But maybe they are having problems with it, like straight up. Maybe it is
I
like
mean, they saw how this went and they were like,
yeah, like they can get away with Persona because it's just like yeah they'll buy it anyway.
They'll
but
eat anything up.
yeah. I guess I'll just run through the rest of the stuff though real quick because I haven't really been playing too much else. I got an itch to mess around with Pokemon Mystery Dungeon again. So I
Oh sure.
was just messing with that a little bit today. These are fun. I don't know. I don't have too much to say about it
I
yet.
keep meaning to play Super Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah, I've heard that one's good.
Because I got it years ago. I got it like when it came out, I think, and then I was playing it, and then I had to do a bunch of stuff in real life that was like distracting me. But I always wanted to play it. But that game, every time I go to play it, it's tutorial. It's that era of Nintendo that I mean, we're still kind of in that in some respects, but like it is that era of Nintendo where it's fucking like, all right, now you go to sleep, and tomorrow we'll teach you how to move to the left, and it's like, oh, okay, and they just do that for like hours.
Yeah, as much as everyone loves Explorers of Sky, and I totally get it, that game is also extremely bad with its tutorialization. Like so much of that game is just like doing like 2 floors of a dungeon and then someone being like, "Wait, you got to go to bed now." It's just like I want to I remember playing through like a little bit of that game and I had to like stop after a while because every time you finish a dungeon they show that fucking cutscene of everyone eating together, and it takes like 12 seconds because it just pans over this huge table of all the Digimon or Pokemon, and I'm like, dude, you don't have to show this to me every time. God, it's crazy.
Important.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cute little Pokemon.
It was cute the first time, not the 75th.
Yeah, I was gonna say like time 37. You're like, all right.
When it had happened like not even 5 minutes earlier, you know, like if it was like, oh, it does it like I don't know if it did it like the first time you finish a dungeon when you turn the game on, you know, it's like, oh, it checks that you just turned the game on, you do a dungeon, it plays it, and then it doesn't play it until after you've turned the game off and turned it back on. Sure.
You had the Shenmue 3 experience.
Yeah. Which, like, again, I know that, like, you know, remakes are such a hot button topic, but if they were gonna remake any of those games, they should have just done Explorers of Sky. And 2, yeah, we need an Explorers of Sky remake just specifically so they don't do that. Just I will pay $60 for a version of that game.
I mean, that's the thing with the fucking like the Chrono Cross remake. It's like, oh my god, they fixed the fact that when you play Chrono Cross on the PS1, it takes like 10 seconds every battle to load in the fucking screen.
Yeah.
Now it only takes 4 seconds to load in or whatever. It's like, oh my god, like that's why FF9 needs the remake, genuinely, the full remake, because it's like you play that game and even remastered, and it's like, yep, doing the built-in pre-pan over everything because they have to load textures hiddenly somewhere.
I don't mean to like call anyone entitled with that, but like the opinion on load times is like the fastest transition from something being acceptable to unacceptable.
I mean,
Like I just find it fascinating in a way where it's like the NVMe drive came out and then suddenly everyone was just fucking overloading.
See, you're right though, because it's like that is the only thing I've noticed I've become a tech freak about. Like, I don't care about graphics, I don't care about frame rate even most of the time, but when I'm playing a fucking game on my PS5 and it doesn't load instantly, I'm like, where are we? Are we in the Stone Age? What is this? Like,
I mean,
like even when I'm playing on the Switch, I don't mind it that much. Like ZA was pretty bad, but it's like I'm on the Switch, I know what this is like, but it's like,
see, that's the
faster.
thing that drove me to get good at Bloodborne, is that when you die in Bloodborne, you might as well just go and do a chore and then come back.
Yeah, I mean, if it worked.
It really is though. Like it's a big deal. I don't know. I think it's the thing of like that's the thing I care about the most these days. Like genuinely, is it's like, but it can't be too fast too often. Is also the other thing, because it's like I got used to being like I'm gonna check my phone during this loading screen, and now I'm like, oh wait, you're not even gonna give me time. Ghost of Yotei was really funny, where it has no loading screens at all. Like it is it has the thing Death Stranding 2 had when you boot up Death Stranding 2 and you press continue and it just goes and it's just like, hey, we're here. He's already there. And it does that same thing where it's like you press Ghost of Yotei on your PlayStation, it like flashes the thing and then you're just in the game. Like you don't even hit continue or anything. And when you die in battle, it just goes dong. And then immediately you're just back into the battle again, reloaded instantly. And it's like, oh god.
It was the thing that was mystifying to me when they added it to the Trails games, where you can just load your most recent save from like a shortcut. And I literally, I think I saw the title screen for Trails from Zero literally one time.
Oh, that's so sad because they change.
I know I'm a horrible person, but I was just like, oh my god, I can just be in the game. Oh my god, why has no one ever heard of this?
Outside of Cold Steel 1, 2 through 4, all the PC ports and ports in general, I think, are done by that guy who fixed Deadly Premonition. I don't know why I can't think of his name right now.
Zach.
But yeah, Zach. No, it's like D something. But they they do great work. They do crazy stuff. Like I don't remember. I think Zero has the thing where you can turn on to see what music is playing. Do they have that? Yeah, that's
there's
great.
a setting where it's just like, here's the track that is playing right now.
Yeah, I love that shit. It's so good. And they just do a ton of weird things like that, like all the time. Like I think Daybreak 2 is one of the first games to have the Steam recording support where it is breaking up your Steam like recording based on events occurring because they know what's happening, like with flags or something. Crazy.
Yeah. And then real quick, I will kind of overlap with Lily a little bit here because this is something that we did together. We played some Left 4 Dead 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell your story of what it took to get into it?
Yeah. So for a really long time, I remember on my last computer, I could not run Left 4 Dead 2 for some reason. Every time that I would try to play it, it would crash after I got like, I don't know, like into a safe house basically or near one. and it would run perfectly fine. Like there would be no issues, no stuttering, no nothing. But as soon as I would get near it, it'd just crash. So, we kind of just went through a little bit of checking technical issues with that. One thing was I did look through my mods or like the like Steam Workshop stuff that you could add, and one of them was just like a black bar. It was just a blank. I don't know what it was, and I did remove that, but that also didn't fix it. So we then found out that there's like a way to just basically force the game to use more of the available memory, and then it worked. So, just did one of those like runtime like commands that you can do. So we did that and it worked, and I played the first like full campaign of Left 4 Dead 2 that I've played in a really long time, and that game is special to me. I love Left 4 Dead 2 a lot. I played that game so much when I was younger, and the idea of getting to play it again makes me really does.
It was really funny because like every 10 minutes John was just like, I forgot this game was good. Oh my god, this is a good game.
I mean, it wasn't like I forgot that it was good. It was just like, ugh. Like I would just hear like a sound effect, or I would, remember a line someone said, or I would be able to like something that I was doing was like I would hear the like little there's like little like jingles that play when like one of the special infected spawn. So there was moments where I was just be like, oh, that's the jockey song. Oh, I know. You gotta watch out for jockey, and like I was just like, I remember that. Yeah, I was just like it was one of those things where it was like I was like on autopilot and just being like, oh, a spitter just spawned, and then I was just like, I wonder what that was.
I got forced to be a horse.
That's right.
Oh yeah. What horse were you forced?
the forced horse. Something cap, ogre cap,
Cap,
Oh,
yeah.
Red
that
Cap?
one.
Sure, yeah.
And I don't think whoever rigged it did it correctly because every time I pick someone up, I was just ominously T-posing over them.
That's kind of what Ogre Cap does. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that does make sense. No, amazing game. I'm gonna try to mess around with workshop stuff again because I would like to do stupid shit with that. But
Yeah, I mean, ask me whenever, and then we can get stuck on the final encounter of Dark Carnival for an hour and a half.
it's still fun. Like even if
It is.
Yeah.
It does, like, I don't want to be one of those people that's like Left 4 Dead 3 when,
Mm-hmm.
but like if Valve wanted to make a massive amount of money, hire like a subsidiary or an understudy to make like 4 more campaigns and sell it for like $20.
I mean,
It
they did weird extra campaigns in like 2014, didn't they? Like out
they
of
did
nowhere.
Coldstream.
Yeah, oh, it was just Coldstream. Okay, I thought they did like a few for some reason.
I mean, I know they did The Passing, which I don't think came
Well, that
with
was
the
like
base game.
immediately almost.
Yeah, they did I think like 1 or 2 like actual DLC like missions with more like voice acting and stuff, because that was like when they were like, oh, one of the survivors is gonna die. That was when they killed Bill. But that was like the last thing that they did with Left 4 Dead. So, like it was sad, but it was also just one of those things where it was like we didn't see those characters ever again after that. So it's like it's almost like everyone died anyway, because it's not like we saw anybody after that. But no. Funnily enough, we saw Bill more than everybody else because he's in Dead by Daylight. Like, so it's like, yeah, the guy they killed is around more than the ones that are still alive, which is really funny.
He got isekai'd into another game.
Literally.
Yeah. Well, if you want more Left 4 Dead, just always Back for Blood. It's right there. You can load
No.
up your cards and
No.
There's flashlight time.
No.
Never tell you about flashlight time.
You're being malicious right now.
In that game, you can't turn your flashlight on or off. So when you
I
walk
was
in a room,
in
Yeah,
the
flashlight.
alpha for that game. And then I was in the beta, which I also played with John. And you want to know the opposite of that continuum? Is that the entire time we were playing that game, John was like, I wish Left 4 Dead 2 worked. I wish I was playing Left 4 Dead right now.
Yeah.
Also, side tangent, really weird that that game released kind of like during like the peak of lockdown and shit.
It
And
still
there's
didn't
like
take
a
off.
weird character. There's a weird character who's like a pseudo conspiracy theorist,
Fuck
like
that guy.
anti-vaxxer dude. And so you have to hear this tide of bullshit coming out of his mouth when like you have a COVID ticker in your other monitor.
Yeah.
That game is functionally identical to Redfall to me, basically in my mind. Like those are like the same game.
Yeah, Maverick's making jokes about Back for More Blood and Redfall right now, and yeah, exactly. It's just because the thing is that like, you know, like Left 4 Dead has a lot of like comedic bits, you know, like a lot of those characters are very memorable because of how funny they are, you know, like especially in 2, like, you know, Coach and Ellis are very memorable, and now that I'm older, I definitely also like appreciate Rochelle a lot more too, because like she just like kind of being a lot more of the like I don't know if she's like straight up like a straight man kind of thing, but just like her like Coach and like Ellis and all them like being really into the Midnight Riders, and her just being like, all right, well, yeah, you know, maybe your shitty band that sucks can actually help us, you know, like when you're trying to
She
do that
has
thing.
Depeche
an
Mode for-
understated sense of like of humor.
Yeah, which works really well, I think. Which yeah,
I do also I do think an important part of writing, and this actually again ties back to the thing that Nikolas was saying earlier. Quirks are not the same thing as writing a character.
mhm,
And a lot of the characters in Back for Blood are quirky. They have one gimmick,
mhm.
but someone like Coach, right? Yeah, he is like a guy who likes to eat and like he is very clearly super food motivated. He has personality traits that aren't that. Shocking, I know.
Yeah, like I think about how you know, like how the characters like grow closer over time as you go through the campaigns, and like how their interactions with the environment are different as you go through the campaigns. You know, like I like when you play the first campaign, they're still just like calling all the special infected. They're just like, oh, there's like a jumping guy over there. Oh, that guy's got a long tongue. And then as you go, they start using the terms for them, which I think is great. You know, like that, because that just shows that they're like, you know, interacting with the environment. They're like reading the graffiti on the wall because people are communicating via the graffiti and being like, oh, we call that one a smoker, we call that one a spitter, you know. It's like, so, you know, it makes the world feel real. And then also just being able to like learn about the characters, you know, like, you know, yeah, like, you know, we did Dark Carnival, and it was like, you know, like Ellis is, you know, very focused on like the rides and stuff because he's, you know, kind of presented more as a like the immature guy, and he's just like, yeah, I just want to go ride the Ferris wheel. And Coach is like talking about all the food and stuff, and you know, it feels real because it's like, yeah, like Coach is like, you know, like a bigger dude who's all about his food, but it's just like also, yeah, like, dude, so like you know, you go to the carnival, there's all kinds of crazy ass food that you want to hop on, you know, and like Ellis is also talking about it too, and like, you know, it's cute, like it's fun to see those characters interact, and like, you know, yeah, like Nick is way more of the straight man, but then also like I mentioned it to you again when we were playing that like my favorite line in that game, because it's one of my favorite lines in any video game, is just because there's like a maintenance room that you have to go through, and sometimes the characters will say, oh, go through the Swan maintenance room of love, and like just having Nick say that with his like very serious, just into the Swan maintenance room of love. Just it's so good. It's so good. It's perfect because it's like him like doing his sort of like straight man shtick, but also just like being so integrated into this goofy premise that it's like he's not even fully like grasping that he's saying something stupid, you know, because he's just been around these people for so long that he's just kind of becoming dumber because he's been around them, you know. It's
Well,
like it's fun.
that is the important part to all funny writing,
Yeah.
right? A joke needs to be a thing that that character would say.
Mhm.
You can't come up with a joke and then puppet it up the character's ass, or
Mhm.
it's going to be very clear that you came up with the joke first.
Yeah.
And in Left 4 Dead, all the characters have flaws, they all have personality, but Nick's whole thing is that, like, I don't know, he's super prejudiced against Southerners. Like, he's constantly talking shit.
Mhm.
And you get to see the narrative catharsis of him getting to the end of the campaign and being like, maybe you aren't all dumb fucking hicks or whatever. But also you can see there are parts of that, like having to be leaning on these people that can be in this stupid party game shooter emotionally affecting, while also just allowing you a venue to write jokes.
Mhm.
You can just make characters that can say jokes, and you don't have to like be in the boardroom and just come up with like arbitrary quirky shit for them to say. Or just have coach say Nikolas like a dozen more times, because again, I
Yeah,
had to
yeah.
walk
What do you
through
need?
I had to walk through John and two of his other friends just saying that over and over again with the same cadence every time.
uh yeah, video games are great. I love yeah, like I said, like but what I was kind of just saying was like I don't think anyone in Back for Blood like really like meshed like that, especially because there were a bunch of characters too. Like I think that was probably one of the flaws too, was they spread themselves too thin. I think having
It
the
was
smaller,
it was the Genshin impact of Left 4 Dead.
yeah, like just have like a small group that can bounce off of each other really well, and then they'll be more memorable instead of like, well, I guess this guy has this perk, you know?
I mean, I think the real problem that game had is it has the problem of modern gaming where they backload all of their mechanical complexity.
Hmm.
And Left 4 Dead is a game that does not have any mechanical complexity added onto it. It's all available to you right from the get-go, pretty much.
Hmm.
Like the difficulties definitely obviously scale, and then you have to think about things more, but it's not like you're not fundamentally changing the way you're interacting with a gun over the course of a mission outside of maybe adding a laser sight onto it or something. Like
It's encounter and environmental design.
yeah. Whereas like Back for Blood did go for something else. It went for the, like the deck building thing for some fucking reason. And it's like eventually that can pan out into maybe you can do something interesting with it, but how long does that take? How long does it take to get to a point where you might have an amount of fun with it that is comparable to a Left 4 Dead? Whereas Left 4 Dead is just consistently at that level, just all
I
the
mean, there's
time.
also way less craft in it.
Hmm.
Like, the love of something like Left 4 Dead, like the hundreds of stuntman animations for just like the individual zombies, and the emphasis placed on them leaning as they run, and the gore effects, the craft just wasn't there for Back 4 Blood, and for a game that very clearly wants you to play it for hundreds of hours. Left 4 Dead stands up because it's a game that you felt like an artist actually gave a shit about, and it wasn't like production, sinkhold where you had to do the card elements and maybe we ignore the finer parts of the craft that the average person won't notice or appreciate.
Yeah, because I mean, Left 4 Dead has the benefit of also being made by libertarians who aren't going to involve themselves with the project too much and have infinite money. And then Back 4 Blood is made under Warner Brothers in 2021. which is if you think about Rocksteady or anything, right? Like,
Not good.
like Multiverses was happening at the same time, right? Like that was when they were like, let's pull Multiverses.
Ooh.
Bad.
So
I've patented my Nemesis system.
And then didn't use it ever.
You cannot be a Nemesis with me.
they don't even
without...
know they have it anymore. Let's be
Yeah.
real. They don't know.
All right. Well, this has been going on for a while. We gotta do news. Let's try to get through this kind of quick. So speaking of Valve, you know, they did announce the new console or whatever you want to call it. Last week,
too.
Steam Machine, and the frame and the controller, the new controller. But for some reason, and I don't know, I don't want to say for some reason, there has just been a bunch of talk alongside all of this that Half-Life 3 is like weeks away from getting announced. There's just a bunch of like insiders just like posting Half-Life 3 or teasers about it and stuff like that. There were some people who were at the Steam Machine like preview thing that was saying like, oh yeah, no, I've been to Valve's offices before, and it's been, they have some security, but like they had a lot of security this time, and there were like a lot of rooms that they were just like, don't go near there. People are like thinking that they just have Half-Life 3 like behind a door somewhere.
Yeah, it's just hidden behind one door.
Yeah.
They put everyone in that one room to work on it.
Yeah, Gordon Freeman is just standing there like with his arms just, hey, how's it going, everybody?
I saw the G-Man walking around. It was weird as fuck. I don't know. Nice guy though.
And it's one of those things where it's like, I do think that I think if they're going to do it, I think it's going to be soon. Like honestly, and not just because of like these rumors or whatever, but like I just think that like if they really want to push like, hey, we want people to buy the Steam Machine, we want to break into the console market for real, then also having Half-Life 3 on there is I think that's a good idea. But I don't know. And like I mean I've also heard like conversations about like, oh, it's been long enough that I think that the sort of fervor for it has lapsed, where it's like, I think at a certain point it was going to be one of those things where no matter how good that game was, it was never going to be good enough for people. Because it would just never reach that impossible goal. But I think it's been long enough that maybe now it can just be a good game and people will just be happy that they have Half-Life 3 finally.
I mean, we've kind of known that they've been working on something like this, if not a
Yeah.
Half-Life 3, another Half-Life game, because like Alex was them testing the waters to say like, okay, obviously our next Half-Life game has to be something, and then if we make it a VR thing, it doesn't have to be necessarily the thing that people
Mhm.
need or whatever.
Yeah.
But even
Well,
then, like
speaking,
ending of that game is a declaration of intent, I feel like, right? Like,
I mean, speaking frankly, Valve has always had a tech demo first mindset with the way they create and design things. I'm not saying that they don't have artistic intent when they want to like make like a specific kind of story, but they very much want to be at the forefront of pushing technology forward. They have a very Carmackian type of ideology when it comes to pushing that kind of thing.
Mhm.
When, sorry, go ahead.
I would say they invented the battle pass and loot boxes.
True, true. They ruined all of our lives forever.
Yeah, as
But
much as I love
the key
Valve,
point,
it's like, dude, y'all really did some fucked up shit too.
the key point I'm making though is like for something like Half-Life Alex, that was them taking the leap to push the medium forward in terms of VR. And I don't
Mhm.
think they necessarily gave up on VR. I think more than anything, they were the ones setting a standard of saying, hey, a video game needs to be a game. It can't just be like a tech demo where you
Right. Like
lift and drop cubes.
or like it was either that or it was the fucking Doom VR thing where you look somewhere and press a button to move forward, right? Like you look at hot
No,
spots in the environment they move you to.
notable for how Doom works mechanically.
Yeah, like Huskow is saying in
It's
the
all about
chat,
flow.
like Alex is the only real VR game. Like, yeah,
It really
basically,
is.
yeah.
Like, it is a whole ass game, right? Well, there's also that other one, what's it called? It's the open world RPG. I can't remember its name. I'll remember in a second, but
Well, the big problem as of right now is that with VR, for a very long time, VR was inaccessible for a lot of reasons. You had to have a dedicated VR space. You needed to be capable of putting like the fucking IR mounts in that space. It it was untenable in a lot of ways. And especially looking at the way that Valve is handling their new headset where they're also kind of soft marketing as like a monitor replacement where it's like, oh, you can project any game in this VR headset, and also it's basically a computer. I think that they are confident enough to have made an advancement that them wanting to make a new game to prioritize that is not off the table. And I'm not going to be a conspiracy theorist in that kind of sense, but I will say it would not be surprising if Valve was using this to push like stuff like the Proton compatibility layer and Linux gaming, which well, ever since Windows 10 has entered its death spiral and Windows 11 was born in the grave, a lot of people in the gaming space have been trying to break away from that kind of thing. And I'm kind of a little admittedly scared of seeing this new era where like back in the day when you got like a PC game like in like a jewel case, there was no guarantee that that shit was even going to work on your particular type. Like now you can be reasonably certain that when you buy a video game it'll work unless something is really really wrong. But like I don't know, you buy Redneck Rampage and you bring it home and it doesn't work. It's just like that's just how that happens.
I mean,
You take the L on that one.
I mean, you took the L because you bought it. You saved yourself. You know.
Yes,
I'm
but
talking shit about Red
key
Dead.
game. Worst shotgun in gaming. I don't know. I haven't made that list, but it's one of the worst shotguns in gaming. But my key point is that taking the bag away from Microsoft when they are already fumbling constantly with both their politics and their industry, they kind of look like they're setting themselves to alpha strike the shit out of Microsoft.
Mhm.
that's
So
Gabe Newell's dream at all times.
Yeah.
if they just say like, "Hey, here is our fully Linux, compatible Half-Life game." Suddenly people can't afford to not give a shit anymore if you want to play Half-Life.
Mhm.
The same way that if you were a massive Half-Life head when Alex came out, uh you needed to get in on that, or you needed to very quickly become friends with someone who knows who has a VR controller.
Mhm.
And okay, my my partner is watching right now, and I can't let this get back to her, so we gotta be real quiet for a second. Um, she has been on the hill for a very long time. Anytime you mention Half-Life 3, she says, I think you mean Half-Life 2 Episode 3. And it's like, oh, yes, sorry. It's that one's definitely the next one. I'm sorry.
I think it's gonna be Half-Life 3. I don't think it's gonna be Episode 3. I think it's been too long. They're just gonna do Half-Life 3.
Well, they changed the timeline, and now it would have been that, but now it
Well,
won't be because of the.
that that's the same thing I was referring to before, is that Valve very clearly does not really care that much about their narrative. They will retcon, they will just do whatever for the game design, and they'll do it every time. Like I I don't want to make fun of people who care about the lore of Half-Life, but you are acquiring a series of medals that say "fell for it again" on it.
The game I was thinking of is Asgard's Wrath, which is an open world RPG on VR. I have heard good things from people I know who have VR headsets.
Okay. Maybe I'll play it someday on the Steam frame when it's not $2,000.
That's the only thing I wanted to say about the Steam machines also, is seeing the new stuff of Valve saying it will be priced accordingly for PCs of its kind. I have no idea what that means, because the price for like a pre-built these days range from anywhere. It could be anything.
It is also the fact that they are making and distributing like a custom PCB with a custom CPU that's like hard soldered to the board. That could be a means to
Yeah.
lower pricing because they're not getting like distribution in the same way, but I'll see it when I see it.
Unlike every other console people who sell all their consoles at a gain, despite what people say, uh, they could literally sell it as a loss because Steam makes more money than God.
I was gonna say, like, it's kind of crazy if they are trying to sell it at a profit, because like the fact that it would just be like, yeah, we're gonna take a hit on the hardware, but then as soon as that thing is in people's homes, that is just another way for people to spend more money on Steam. Like
They
that
get 30% of every game on Steam. Like
I do.
They could just
that
send those to people. Like I think they would genuinely make more money if they just sent enough for, like, if they just said, "Oh, we counted how many Steam profiles there are and we sent those to everyone who ever had a Steam account." Like, I think they would still make money. So, like, genuinely. Like
I do also have to say though that like when they are selling those Steam machines, they are also marketing them with the assumption in mind that those are a computer.
Mhm.
Like the part of the trailer was like, yeah, you can use your regular things on, these computers. So I do also think that they need to be priced competitively because Steam, for their market research, is probably operating under an assumption that buying a Steam machine doesn't demonstratively earn the money through Steam. Like, I don't know what the niche use case of that would be, but if like an artist buys a Steam machine specifically to just draw and do art on, that is technically a use case that they would be happy to capitalize on.
Mhm. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, again, like, I think they, I was joking about the Steam frame, but I know that they said that it's not going to be more than the index, and the index is $1,000, so it's like the Steam frame is going to at least be, which, like, don't get me wrong, that's a lot of money, but this is also like a tiny computer that is strapped to your face. Like the fact that they're doing that and it's gonna be $1,000 or less is kind of crazy. I'll just say that. Like, honestly, I think that is kind of crazy.
So, I will stand up for this product the day that they can make VR tolerable for my eyeglass wearing bitches.
That's fair. Yeah.
And also not the main thing that concerns me, right, is that if this thing is like just a computer strapped to your face, I have seen how sweaty people get using normal VR headsets. So you just have like
a computer
that
on
one Samsung phone that explodes like a bomb strapped to your skull.
Just
we
the
are
entire
on the
top
fast
half of your
track
head
to real Sword Art Online.
Yeah. VR got me doing neck curls for the first time. Yeah, who's gal saying that? That's, it's crazy out there.
Like, I had to do VR without my glasses, and so I was just shooting at blurry people in the distance. It was the experience that Gordon Freeman had when someone knocked his bifocals off.
They're gonna program that into Half-Life 3. That's what they're doing. Yeah, it's gonna be real. All right, let's see. Our next bit of news here. Last week we reported that there was some crazy shit going on with Ubisoft. That it seemed like maybe they had gotten purchased or something was happening, because they said, "Hey, we can't do our stuff. We can't talk about our finances right now. I'm out." It was actually because they had new company auditors and they needed to redo their accounts because of some accounting issue. That was
because they were
it.
not including like their 10-cent payment for the month correctly or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, it was like, it was one of those things where it was like, yeah, it was kind of important information, but it was also like, okay, could have just said that.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the reactive games press world forever, right? It's just what's going to happen is everyone's going to be like, I have decided this is what is occurring in the world. Let's all talk about it now and react in waves.
I mean, it was definitely one of those things where, I think a lot of people are responding to that like that because everyone's kind of just waiting for Ubisoft to either go away or get bought because EA and Activision have also been that.
Yeah.
But it is also just very funny that it just hasn't happened yet, and it mostly just seems like it hasn't happened because Disgaea is just like, I will kill you if you try to purchase me. Even though they've basically been purchased by Tencent at this point, it's just not like fully. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, nothing ever happens. Yay!
I mean, they're a European company also, which is different from the American one.
That's true.
Why I was like, I don't know.
They probably have to jump through a lot more hoops.
Yeah.
Here another small bit of news here, which I mostly bring up just to piss Rose and Lily off. Hey, they're doing a Tales of Berseria remaster.
They sure are.
It doesn't look like they're changing literally anything about it.
Yeah. Well, an interview implied they might let you get the hoverboard earlier than the last quarter of the game.
I'm like, I know that my range of motion is limited, but I want to tell you that I like angrily crossed my arms like I was like a brat in like a 90s TV show.
Yeah.
So the vibe I was getting from looking into this more was obviously we all know it's unnecessary. There's no reason for this. But the Tales of Xillia 2 remaster seems to be taking a hot minute, which makes sense because Tales of Xillia 1 had to be ported entirely to Unity from the original engine, and they had to rewrite all the code because PS3. Tales of Berseria is only on the PlayStation 4 and PC, so I think they just wanted to make a Switch port, and they were like, "Well, how do we lie in a way to get more money?" Right? Like, so.
Yeah,
It's
probably.
like that fucking Yakuza thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Zero Director's Cut.
This isn't even a Switch 2 port though, which is what's like, come on.
Yeah, it's just
it's Switch 1.
It'll run
like...
real. Have you seen that Tales of Xillia on the Switch one? Because I'm sure it will end up great, just like that.
I have not. So, how is that? Not good.
A lot of T-posing, a lot of it.
Oh no.
A lot of randomly switching to Japanese dialogue.
Yeah, that's a, I kind of still want to eventually play all the way through that, but
I want you to play it so bad.
I've tried it like 4 times and I bounced off every time, but maybe sometime, I don't know.
We just need to do the dog 5G image again. We need to do that to you somehow, and then you just sit there and you're just like, oh, Maggie Lou, I see. Yes, please, gosh.
I like Maggie Lou. I like her. She's fun. Yeah.
And then we'll just be like, only play as Aizen and punch them, and it's fine. And you just ignore that part of the game, and you're just punching them.
Okay. You telling me that may change things. Let's see. I'll try it. We'll see.
Well, what specifically are you bouncing off of?
I remember just not liking the combat. That was what I remember.
Not good.
It's been a long time though, is the thing. Like, it's been a while. I
tried to get you to do it like when it came out. I remember.
Like
I again in like 2020.
Yeah, I need to give it. I do need to give it another go. But like, I think I have it on PC, so I'll just play the PC version. I'm not gonna like go. I'm not gonna get.
I think it's just way easier for you to get through. I use this word not directly derogatorily, but like with Digimon, it's way easier for you to get through turn-based slop. I feel like as a person than perhaps action-based slop.
Look, 100%, because if there is a lull, you just, oh, I have a YouTube video on, just, like, yeah, like that's why, like I can do grindy shit when I don't have to think about it too much. But once it's like, okay, I'm actually having to aim and do like, yeah, like, which the one thing I will say is that the major thing that I saw that they're changing is they are adding like combat skipping, like turning off random encounters, which, I mean, doesn't actually fix it. Just make the combat better. Then if you're gonna do a remaster, do something like, but whatever. It's whatever. It's probably, yeah. It's just a port. It's just a port.
I'm playing Tales of Xillia Remastered right now, and it that combat is just better because it's just like designed on like an axis, so then they are able to do like the inputs way more interestingly, and it's still very basic. You're still doing a lot of like very basic stuff, but Tales of Berseria has the weird 3D, you run around that little zone and you punch them very uninterestingly in spam arts, right? Like it's like
Hmm.
I feel like there are just more ideas in the ones before Zisteria, and Berseria suffers just from Zisteria is a nightmare game.
I remember digging. I remember digging Vesperia quite a bit though.
That one's just side scrolling straight up,
Yeah.
right? So it's like you're on like a single plane and you can hop over them and guard and stuff.
I think it's like
Yeah.
3D, but it's still kind of on a plane. I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can like sidestep and then like Soul Calibur, like Soul Calibur.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, let's see here. Okay, I guess to keep talking about remakes here, Nicholas, you put this in here. Because they did recently officially announce that they're gonna do a Trails 2, a Trails second remake. Which,
Well, they they did announce it at the end of the game,
which
but
I was gonna say that, yeah, like they confirmed it in game when you finished Trails first, but they said it like publicly for everybody to know in case you didn't finish it.
it'll be out before the same time next year, is what
Yeah,
they said.
yeah. So, that's cool. But now they're saying that they are still trying to figure out which game to remake after that. They're deciding between Zero or Sky Third.
Which is insane.
I beg you, please don't remake the one I literally just finished.
Aren't they in the middle of like a story arc right now?
Yes, so that's what I was gonna say. I have two angles on this. One, Trails from Zero is perfect as is right now. If you take away the fucking chibi Lloyd Bannings and Randy patting his head, it's over. It's over. It's over. We can't let that happen. Trails Third would also benefit a lot from the improved combat system of the remakes, just broadly, and it would reuse assets the same way. Like the whole reason they were able to pump that shit out is because they were reusing assets like Yakuza games, right? Like it's, hey, here's possessed Gransel City or whatever for third. Um, so there's no reason not to do that. But really, they should make no remakes because the reason they had to remake Trails in the Sky second on top of first is because they immediately go into the other one. Like it's instant. It is a sequel in every definition of the word. And if you left people hanging after that first remake, unless they played the old version, they would feel insane and they would go crazy and start killing people. But my understanding from everyone I know who's played the Japanese version of the most recent Trails game, Trails Beyond the Horizon, is that game ends on an insane twist the same way Trails in the Sky first ends, and it has been almost 2 years since that game came out now. I think a year and a half. And like that who knows when the second one's coming out? Who
That's funny.
knows?
Because now they're
Like
on
they
the
just keep
remake
fucking
train.
making remakes. Because they're making remakes. They're making Tokyo Xanadu 2 also. Like
Maverick's saying make Tokyo
fucking
Xanadu again, and now you're like, oh, but no, they are doing two. So there you
they
go. Yeah,
are
they're
doing
doing that,
two.
Maverick. There you
They
go.
also did just do Tokyo Xanadu remake again for the Switch.
Okay.
But that was good because they hired a fan localizer like they have done for every game since the Zero Azure
All right.
releases. So they got someone to clean up that game who really liked it and was like, all right, I made it better. But it's still
Falcom,
like,
slow
dog,
down.
dog. They just remade Yeast 10 a year after it came out. Like they 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 need to stop.
What are
They
they
just need
doing? Yeah, what is going on at
they
Falcom?
they like burned everyone out so hard with Cold Steel. They made 5 Cold Steel games.
I don't know what's going on. That's scary.
I'm so scared to start Cold Steel, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Cold
I just
Steel.
finished. Yeah.
It sound from all the things you say, like the Blue Sky post that I see you post, Rose. Cold Steel sounds really funny. I saw one that you posted that was like, "Oh man, it's really sad that this really cool moment was ruined by, hey, have you ever heard of this game called Persona 4 Golden? Well, we
Yeah.
have." And it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
I I can work this in because I put it on my list. I just finished Cold Steel 2. I don't have to go too far into this. And Cold Steel 2 does this thing where it ends like insanely cool when you get to the first ending, and then you go into this like post game thing where you switch protagonists and everything, and it's like, oh, this is so awesome, this is so sick. They're like doing the Trails good thing of like feeding into the world building, that's everything. So it's like, oh, this is so cool. They're using music from old games, like, oh, this is awesome. And then they're like, okay, also here's 4 more hours of Reen fighting
oh,
God unrelated to all that. And it's like, what? Why?
So
What?
what
And
you're
then like you go back
saying
to school and you do school things, and it's like, no, 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 take me back.
so what you're saying is that I should get to the first ending and then immediately alt
You should
F4
get
out
to
of
the
the
second
game.
ending because the third ending is the problem.
Oh, good. Good. My
You'll like the
favorite
second
thing to
ending.
hear. My favorite fucking thing.
It's just so those games don't stop. And like the problem with the Cold Steel was that Cold Steel 3 was supposed to be the last one. They were just going to do 3 games like they did for Sky. And then they were like, no, we need a 4th game. So then they had to inflate the hour count for 3 and 4. So there's just a bunch of stuff in the like middle end of those games that are just like, you're just going somewhere, you're just doing things. And I think it just burned out their developers so bad that like you don't want to be working on the same game for 10 years, you know?
Yeah.
Like even if they're different games,
Digimon.
they're still the same game. Yakuza has to add 1 new map every 3 years for morale.
That's true.
Like you learn to
I
appreciate Kamurocho once you make Kawaii.
I don't even like hate the idea of asset reuse as both like a
Me neither.
budgetary message like I understand why it's done, and I understand how it can allow the scope of those games to breathe where otherwise, like, generate arbitrary new areas every entry would also kill people in the other direction. But I do agree in the context of like being forced to live in like a 8 by 8 meter box kind of makes you go insane as an artist
Yeah,
after a little while.
because it's like because it's also that era of like Japanese developers are still getting used to HD 3D of like the mid 2010s, and it's just they're switching engines but using the same assets and then tweaking them, and then now I don't know. Cold Steel is it's the most Persona 4 game, yeah, like ever. Like I said, like it really is like they are inspired by so many things that it's taking them back in a lot of ways negatively. Um, there is still the sauce. Like there is this thing I complained about with that game where Ring Sporzer spends the entire game going like, I have no opinions on the matter to like every political situation occurring. And then you get to the end of the game and they're like, and guess what? He was wrong for doing that. He was really wrong for doing that. And I was like, thank you. Okay, good. I'm glad we're on the
So
same page, game.
So what you're saying is that we went back in time and we made a whole video game series dedicated to the world's most pathetic centrist playthrough of Disco Elysium?
Yes, yeah, actually kind of. It's like it's really funny because I think like the game It's like a good version of Ghost of Yotei almost, where it's like you spend the entire game and they're playing the heroic music when he's being a centrist, and then you get to the end of the game and it's like, uh-oh, maybe being a centrist is bad.
But yeah, we'll see what happens with Falcom's funny moments here, because yeah, this is
Yeah, just make a fucking game. Just make the new one. Come
They're gonna
on.
remake Cold Steel 1 next.
No,
Fingers
no, that's what
crossed.
everyone keeps saying, and it's scarily possible. I think if they remake Zero, though, it would really remove the sauce. Like, those games just came out over here for us, like, officially. Like, even fan-wise, like, the fan translations are only, like, 5 years old for those games. And it's just like, those games look beautiful. Like, if you look at those little 2D diorama, those specifically are on that era of, like, HD of the old PC style that it looks so fucking good all the time. Like, it just looks, and the
I
music.
mean, being honest, like I think it's easy to lose like the forest for the trees, especially when we live in this fucking nightmare era of HD 2D. Like, what if every single sprite was really blown out and covered with HDR and blurred? Like whatever the fuck is going on with that Gradius like remaster thing that's happening recently.
Yeah.
Recently.
Everything has to look like a Mario Galaxy model.
Oh wait, yeah, great.
Nintendo hired this man. But um the thing is, we are allowed, I think we can all say this collectively, sometimes old things are good. And like a big part of the appeal of Zero is that, okay, I've said this before and I'm going to say it again because it's been a while since the last time I've been on the podcast, and so I have time to repeat myself again. So, video games are an impressionistic medium. When you give the impression of a space, you inherently liberate yourself from needing to stipulate on every granularity of it. The moment you zoom the camera in, suddenly you need to stipulate on every brick underneath Lloyd's cop feet. Where that becomes a problem, especially with something like this, is that the reason that Zero and Sky sticks with a lot of people the way it does is that it is the perfect area, the perfect time period to suggest detail while also prompting you to imagine that detail. Like, compare that something to like the remake for the newest Dragon Quest game, where that game is literally so bloated they need to cut shit out of it. A lot of the time we see that kind of thing where the graphics, while improvising like a lot of different things and needing you to imagine the detail, like Final Fantasy IV and Final Fantasy VI heavily required the suspension of disbelief that these two polygons clacking together were actually two wizards having a fight. That is not a problem for something like Trails. This is a sprite-based game that, honest to God, has choreography. You can leave it alone. And the times where I will speak with advocacy for a remake is times where things that are bloated, things that ruin the pace, things that we didn't get right I guess what I'm advocating for is the video game equivalent of a director's cut.
Sure.
A director's cut doesn't always require you to shoot the whole fucking movie over again.
Yeah, okay. So then maybe not. I was gonna say that Dragon Quest VII remake that they're making seems to be what you're talking about, where they're cutting out a bunch of parts of the game and changing.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game was so fucking long where it's like, oh yeah, we didn't introduce the job mechanics until you were like, it's a ridiculous number. It is so
like 30
long.
hours in or something like that. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
dude, what's going on?
And they fixed that in the DS one already, I think.
Hmm. But
3DS.
again, I think that it is a dangerous thing to say that every single thing more old than 5 years ago needs to be recrafted into something that a modern audience can deal with. Like,
Yeah, nah.
I get, I had a friend recently, and this is not shade directed at her, but like she was recently trying to play Majora's Mask, and she was having a really hard time adjusting to the way that that game conveys information, the way it uh articulates what you are intended to do with the intentionality of its design. And a thing that makes me sad a little bit, especially even in the Trails remake, the first one we've already seen, is and I know I've come on here in the past and spoken in advocacy of like those changes where it's like, okay, so now we show you when the dialogue updates. We show you when there's hidden
Yeah.
quests in town. I also think to an extent, perhaps hypocritically, sometimes the journey should require you to miss things. Knowing that not caring causes you to miss out makes you say, basically, I need to either be invested or I need to not care. And I think it's important to have a game that plants its feet and says, please explore the space. I am not going to have a little icon constantly pulling at the side of your mouth like a fish hook, trying to get you to run in the direction of the main quest. Explore it, lavish in it. And the thing that's scary to me, especially with remakes, is that I don't want them capitulating to a mindset that requires them to constantly remind you, here's where the quest is, by the way, in case you forgot. It's like we have a journal for that. I don't need an icon constantly pestering me.
I agree with you 100%, but also I do think those earlier Trails games specifically have a big issue that I wish they had just sort of fixed in the remake instead of requiring it, where it's just like they are like, hey, you're supposed to, oh no, you just heard your friend got attacked. You should go help your friend. Actually, you should go back to the town all the way across the map and there's a quest there and you can help someone there. Like they do that like a lot. And it's like, uh, I feel like that's
Sure.
the type of thing you change in a remake, right? Instead of just
Hmm.
labeling it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure, again, you could point to a number of one off cases, which is why I say I hold both positions simultaneously, so I never lose. But my argument still stands. There are some things where committing to a change that removes frictiveness can make the games expand outside of niche appeal. Like it's crazy to me that like Trails in the Sky First is like one of the top rated games of this year just because the overwhelming fan passion has made people who ordinarily don't give a shit about Kiseki like actually pay attention to it.
Well, those guys realized Expedition 33 isn't the only turn-based game. They
What?
discovered actually there have been some for quite some time.
I mean, it's also the other thing is that playing fucking Expedition 33 has forced people to reckon with the fact that the fucking video game blinders they have had on for the past 17 years that are like, okay, if it's turn-based, I don't care. I don't need to look at it. Oh
Yeah.
wait, turn-based things can be fun actually when you're making the game with that
When
in
it's not
mind.
Pokemon,
That's
specifically, when it's not
crazy.
only Pokemon that you play. No offense to Pokemon. I enjoy Pokemon. You know this, John,
I
but you
do.
know what I mean.
Fine. John, it's okay.
But like,
I'm not making fun of you.
I
Like,
was just like, no, no. I was just like, no, don't worry. You know I love Pokemon.
Make fun of me.
what you don't know is that John actually has a secret secondary webcam where he's just pointing a handgun at each of us in sequence
Yeah,
anytime we mention
I have that too.
Pokemon.
It's the Scarface thing we said earlier.
Yeah.
It's like we start to see a John reaction cam in the corners, start to frown a little bit, frowning.
But yeah, turn-based combat can be fun when you design around it with intentionality and it is directly connected to the fantasy that you want to portray. That's crazy. Who thought of that? Miyamoto? I'm going to quote it to him. He said it.
He was probably the first person to ever do it.
He was the first one that made a video game. He was deep in the forge of Hephaestus, pounding on the anvil with his hammer, and then Mario Brothers 3 came out, and don't worry about the first two ones.
It was based on that time he fought a slime when he was wandering the countryside of Japan.
And then a little flower creature came out and threw itself at him.
Yeah. And there were Goombas.
That was his weirdest story.
He always loved stomping on Koopas.
Koopas.
And then a Duraludon hit him with a Hyper Beam.
Yeah. It all happened just like that.
Everyone knows that Mario is actually autobiographical.
He was the worst plumber you had ever seen and was constantly getting into shit.
Alright. We got two.
He wasn't even doing plumbing. He was walking around the countryside.
Swinging a wrench.
To avoid his job.
Yeah.
He even pretended he was performing a play at one point.
So back to the news.
Yes, the news.
Anyway.
We have two stories of CEO cringe this week. The first one is a little more low stakes. We reported a couple of months ago about that Crafton lawsuit that was going on. Where it was claimed that the original creators or the original heads of the Subnautica team had made a deal with Crafton for once they got bought out. I was like, yeah, if Subnautica 2 reaches this amount of money or whatever, we get a big payout, and so does everybody else on the team. And, there was some back and forth about, like, how true that was and all that. Because, you could just say that and to try to, goad the public into believing, et cetera, et cetera. But the court case is going on now. And it seems like that was pretty much 100% true. Because there was now evidence shown that the CEO of Crafton did not want to pay that out once Subnautica made that much money. And at one point, just straight up asked ChatGPT, how do I get out of paying these people this money?
It's like crazy. My favorite part of this story is that basically what happened is the defense, the Subnautica devs team basically said like, hey, we have evidence that this is the case, that he did this or whatever, and presented it. And then like Crafton's lawyers went, no, that's not true. It didn't happen. And then a week later, unprompted, the fucking guy just goes like, what do you mean? Everyone uses ChatGPT to ask questions like that. It's important to everyone's daily life. And it's like, oh god.
Yeah.
Can't even do one thing to be evil.
It's hilarious. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure that they're gonna lose that case and have to pay that money, but fucking insane. It's bad out there. And the next bit here is there was an interview with the New York Times and Roblox's CEO, because there's been a lot of push for Roblox to get better about their everything, basically. Like how bad it is to
all their safety tools and everything.
All their safety tools. Yeah, all the safety tools, all the moderation, all the gambling, all the microtransactions. And so the New York Times interviewed the CEO, David Bazuski, about it, and he pretty much I'm just gonna read this quote here. He was asked, quote, about the problem of predators on Roblox, and he replied, "We think of it not as a problem, but an opportunity as well. How do we allow young people to build, communicate, and hang out together? How do we build the future of communication at the same time?" Yeah? Yeah?
Might be the worst to ever do it in history.
But there's so many incredible parts of this. I really like at the end when he starts crashing out and just keeps saying, I'm glad you agree with our Roblox hive mind. High five, high five, high five me, high five me.
Yeah, yeah,
Not
here,
good.
yeah, let me I'm looking at the PC Gamer write up here. Just like he's vague when asked why it's taken so long to implement some of these systems, in particular one that aims to restrict conversations on the platform to bans of certain age groups. And the interviewer pointed out that predators don't seem to have had much trouble getting around this. Bezuski said he didn't want to comment on it. He also appeared to deny that there was a problem at all, acknowledging that it's something seen in lawsuits and media, but saying he categorically rejects the interviewer's characterization. Uh, when asked about a Hindenburg research report claiming that Roblox was reducing its spending on trust and safety, Zuski first pointed out that the Hindenburg research is no longer in business and then asked the interviewer if you've done your own. Then, after turning the question into a weird hypothetical, with which the interviewer agreed, Bezuski said, "Good, so you're aligning with what we did. High five."
I
Roblox CEO impossible to hear over the hive of cicadas that follow him around everywhere he goes.
the other line in this interview that really got me was the part where the interviewer posits an insane hypothetical where they would add a speculative market for children to gamble on in Roblox. And he says, that would be a great idea. That would be really good. Obviously, there's like regulations in place in various countries that would make it difficult, but that's exactly the type of idea we think would be really fun and engaging to add to the experience. And the interview goes like, to be clear, I meant that would be really bad if you did that. To be clear.
Yeah, just like literally that fucking like Torment Nexus tweet where it's just like, oh yeah, no, here I wrote about the dangers of the Torment Nexus, and now 5 years later we have invented the Torment Nexus from the hit book The Torment Nexus. Like it's
I mean,
fucking
this is just
insane.
there's so many issues that are like compounding, so it's I'm not going to push a case of personal responsibility on people out there, but this is what I've been saying for years with Roblox is it's like Roblox is evil. It is
Mhm.
like one of the most evil things ever, and every time I hear a story from like a parent or something that's like, well, I have to let my kid play Roblox, it's like you don't, you really really don't, like you should not be doing that. Like that's
It,
like I
it's
don't know, everyone should have heroin, I guess.
it's the same thing where it's constantly like, yes, like you said, it would be bad to go for like the personal responsibility argument. If you don't want your kids to see content you don't want them to see, then just parent them better. And that leads to like a multitudinous amount of problems, especially
Yeah.
like the shit we're seeing with the payment processors and the fucking everything right now. But again, if you go here's a metaphor for you. You're a parent. You take your child to Chuck E. Cheese and you discover, oh, rather than the statistically normal amount of heroin needles in the ball pit, like one or two, there's like nothing but heroin needles in the
Hmm.
ball pit. Well, it's the only place I can drop my child off at. Perhaps, if you would, a hypothetical, don't bring your children to the heroin needle ball pit.
It's just it's insane. I don't know. It's Roblox sucks so bad. I can't believe we've allowed it to exist in our society for so long.
I mean, it's a stopgap measure for worse problems. Like,
Yeah.
at the way the society is outside of Roblox, outside of gaming, what spaces do children have to occupy where they are allowed any autonomy or interiority at all? So when you invent something that allows them the tiniest smidgen of an ability to self-direct and to make their own fun, fucking of course they are going to take off with it. Kids don't even have parks anymore to walk to. Like, no shit, they're spending 90% of their existence like lingering in the abandoned salt mine that is Roblox. They don't have anywhere else to fucking go.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about like there was a I just remember like a YouTuber making a bunch of videos just talking about like kids, websites that they would go on, like your Neopets, Club Penguin, stuff like that. And then specifically talking about like, I think that there should be things like this for kids these days that are just, I mean, obviously they want to make a profit, but are more just focused on giving them a regulated place that isn't just about 100% we need to make a quadrillion trillion dollars forever and ever and ever. It's just like, yeah, like here's, we're giving them a place to hang out and we'll make some money off of that, but for the most part it's just a place for kids to hang out. And then everyone's just jumping to, oh well, if you just want to have a place for kids to get exploited, and it's like, motherfucker, that,
We already have that.
that's happening. That it's right there. It's Roblox. It's Roblox. They like the CEO basically almost said, "Man, no, we make money from pedophiles too. That's fine. It's money. Their money's just as green as the kids' parents' money. It's just like, all right, great, dude, cool."
Well, that's the intrinsic problem, is that if you do genuinely come at it from a position of wanting to make things materially better, people inherently are trained to interrogate your motives. It's a nightmare, because it's like, if you wanted to make something that was the equivalent of, like, I don't know, Pokemon Neopets, people would be like, immediately like, we got to do a background check on this fucking person. We need to make sure that they're not like a super turbo pedophile, when in reality, the worst ones are right there and you just refuse to look at them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like it. I like. I have a lot of opinions about stuff like this, and I don't know if I want to go as in depth, but like, like I do think that it is important for kids to have good relationships with adults that aren't just their parents. Like I think it's good to have like mentor kind of interactions with other like adults, and I think that having a regulated kind of environment for that kind of stuff is good. But yeah, just like Roblox being the Wild West, it's like, you're not gonna have something like that because it rewards predatory behavior way over something that's more on the level. Yeah, like Maverick saying, like, yeah, like that's his job. He does that, and like I respect that a lot. Like I respect that a lot. Like I think it's incredible to actively work with kids to further their lives in a way that isn't just from a parental standpoint, because it's from a different seat. You're coming at their life from a different angle, and that's healthy. I think so. Yeah.
Well,
It's
again, not to get too sociological about it, but yeah, absolutely. Like, children need more of a support network than the hallucination of the nuclear family can
Mhm.
afford.
Yeah.
If children are taught to doubt the integrity of every family, like, or every person outside their family unit, how are you training them to handle problems inside the fucking family unit? How are
Mhm.
you training them to spot when things aren't good behaviors?
Mhm.
And in creating this kind of culture where parents are fundamentally disaffected and disinterested in what their kids are getting up to, you are creating a cyclical abuse factory.
Mhm.
You are teaching people that there is no safety outside, there's no safety inside, there's no safety in any community you build for yourself, so just learn to be perpetually angry and exploited, I guess.
Um. But yeah. Um. Roblox is, yeah. I like we can talk about how evil Fortnite is. Like I do think that Fortnite is pretty evil. There's a lot of stuff about Fortnite that I think is very funny, and I think it's kind of good in some ways too. But every time I think about Roblox, I'm just like, that should be stricken from the face of the earth. That should not
Let's
exist.
just
Like,
play Minecraft.
yeah.
That's all I can think. I know they're very different games, don't get me wrong, but it's like Minecraft is fine. Ah.
I just think the investment of capital in flattening all spaces so they can make money off of all peoples is the fundamental problem here. When you can't have Neopets just for children, you need to have omni Neopets that can attract everyone of every age range and demographic. Yeah, of course you're going to have shitty actors. And that's the problem. No one is invested in solving it. And again, we could talk in circles forever about it. But the main problem, specifically with what we're pointing out with the Roblox CEO, is that these kinds of people are not just evil, they are more evil than you are capable of imagining them being.
Yeah. All right. One more bit of news, and I'm sorry that we didn't get to more games. You know,
I can't go forever.
Yeah, we can't go forever. Rose, we should.
I could just keep the Red Bull coming.
Rose, well, we should definitely get you back on soon because you played Demon School. I want to hear about that.
Yeah, I'll probably be done by the next time we do a podcast. So
Okay,
that
works. All right, yeah. Last bit of news here, and it is going to be a eulogy here. Sorry to kind of be a downer, but it's important to make a note. Rebecca Heineman, who was genuinely just like one of the big dogs of gaming for a really long time. She was one of the first like video game tournament champions like ever. I think like the first, maybe even arguably. She wrote for Electronic Games, reversed engineered Atari 2600 code, worked on stuff like The Bard's Tale and Wasteland, and did a shit ton of ports like Out of This World to Super Nintendo. And the Apple II port of Ultima 1, and the Mac and 3DO ports of Wolfenstein 3D, and probably most infamously, but also like God fucking bless, was the Doom port to 3DO, which is a bad port, but because they gave her like a month to do it.
Yeah, it was like 7 weeks or something total, I think.
Yeah.
To fucking after reverse engineering the original game.
Which, when you take that into consideration, it is a masterpiece. Like, when you're like, okay, yeah, she had this long to do it, and it's this good. Like, you know, like, it's you're never gonna be like, oh, you should play this over any other version of Doom. But it's like, she had like 7 weeks to do this, and she got this much done. Like, holy shit. So yeah, like, a very, very big part of like gaming history. Like, yeah, like I'm just scrolling through here. Like, she worked on like the like PS2 Medal of Honor games. The last thing she did was like she worked on the Chips Challenge Windows re-release and stuff. Like, she was around for a really long time. Was doing a lot of like art, and did a whole like fanfic comic that she did. And she just passed away this past week, which is, you know, a real shame. She had cancer, and you know, was trying to get treatment. Passed away on the 17th. A lot of people out there were giving we're giving tributes to her, like Josh Sawyer and all those, like a lot of people from like Interplay and stuff, because she was like, I think she was there at like the start of Interplay, right? Yeah. And also, you know, like one of the like, and I haven't mentioned it yet, but like, yeah, she was a trans woman, so one of like the first big trans folks in gaming. Well, so, you know, yeah, like, like, rest in peace. Like, it's a real shame that she's gone, but also, like, she gave us so fucking much. Like, I would, yeah, the thing that I would absolutely recommend, if you want to, there's probably other ones, but I do know that the Stop Skeletons from Fighting episode where Derek talks about, like, Doom ports and stuff, like, especially about the 3DO port. Like, he definitely gives her flowers in that one, and she absolutely. So yeah, so rest in peace, Burger Becky. Thanks for all your hard work.
Pour one out.
Mm-hmm. Um. All right. Yeah. So since we're not gonna do more games, let's just hit the questions real quick, and then we'll wrap this up. If you want to send in a question, you can go to. There's a couple of places. Go to your email client of choice and send it to podcast@gamesline.net. I'm gonna check real quick that. You can also follow us on Blue Sky and reply to the post when we ask for questions, so choose. Or you can go to our Discord server, which is if you go to the gamezone.zone, you type that into your web browser, you click on that, what I just put in the chat there. There's a thread that asks for the podcast, and you can send in questions like these fine folks right here. Cello Buster asked, what will be each host's bespoke goo scent when Gamesline relaunches Gamer Goo under their own banner? So I do need to explain. I had remembered Gamer Goo a little bit ago. For those of you who do not know what Gamer Goo is, it's an old Gamesline standby. We were introduced to it at CEO one year. It was a goo for gamers that you would put on your hands. You would put on your hands, it would make your hands dry because it just had like a shit ton of alcohol in it, so it would dry your hands out. And it was to make it so like your hands wouldn't sweat while you were gaming, and it worked. It did what it was supposed to do. And then at a certain point, they rebranded to like Clutch One or something like that. And today I remembered it and I looked it up and I was like, huh, are they still around? And the Clutch One Twitter account and like other stuff, it's like all locked. And I did go to the Gamer Goo website, and that was like broken but still up. And it's not there on Amazon anymore, but there is a listing on Micro Center. Huska was saying that they bought it. Okay, so did you buy a new bottle from Micro Center? Huska in the chat here, because if you get a bottle of Gamer Goo in the mail, I'm waiting with bated breath to see what happens here.
If it's
Because
from Micro Center, you never know when that's from. You can go to Micro Center
That's
and you
true.
can buy a PC game from 1994 and it's just like wrapped up, just sitting there.
okay,
It's
so it
just
is
a big tube of Arctic 5.
okay. All right, so now Huska is saying that they just have old ass rancid goo.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Stop.
See,
There's
yeah.
not a lot of good phrases being
Please.
stated regarding this question, to be honest.
You can still get balls at like some card game stores that I've been to. The energy drink, Maverick. So I don't know. I mean, look, there's a listen. A Micro Center is opening in Austin sometime next year. I will go there and we'll see if they have Gamer Goo available. We'll see if a new store, if
I
they
like
have fresh.
your thinking that they like it's not that these stores have existed forever and they just leave it on the shelves. You're like they make a new store and they just transmit some
Maybe.
of their old shit they have. In
Maybe.
a box.
I don't know.
It's a House of Leaves situation where they
Yeah.
have the goo cauldron in the back.
Anyway, yes.
Still has a goo cauldron.
Anyway, yes, Gamesline needs to relaunch Gamer Goo under our banner. We need to make new goo.
Do we?
Yes. And now you each have to choose a scent for your goo. What goo scent will you have? Let's start off with you, Nikolas. What's your goo scent?
I don't think there was a single question I could have ever theoretically been less prepared for.
Maverick in the chat is saying
Um,
dibs on lavender, so you can't say lavender. Maverick has.
uh,
We can come back to you.
vanilla.
Vanilla.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Good one.
My first instinct was Neapolitan, but then I remember that's a flavor, not a scent.
I mean, it could just be like a
I would like to
mixture.
imagine that scent. Yeah, you could have like a blend.
A
Yeah, big ol'.
melange.
Lily, do you have a goo scent that you want to hop on?
Blood and surgical steel.
Okay.
Ooh, it's a nice irony.
It's smelling like a dog hospital.
You need the formaldehyde
Just-
for that word.
Okay. Rose, what's your choice?
Strawberry. I
Yay.
just get strawberry everything. I usually do like weird, insane not name brand, but like a weird like proprietary scent is what I usually get for my perfumes and stuff.
Okay.
So your stuff is named like the most embarrassing offering at the smoothie place.
Yeah, so like I'm gonna give you an example. Here are the two that I have over there. I have Genie's Kiss and
Aw.
1,000 Wishes.
You're a genie, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I realized that those actually go hand in hand, but they have very different brandings and are from different places.
Do you know Aladdin?
Yeah, we're good friends, He's always got a friend in me.
Huska was also saying in the chat that apparently
That's not that movie.
Huska was saying in the chat that apparently the gamer goo does keep well. So does it still like work?
Oh, good. I mean, it's just alcohol and goo.
I don't know. I mean,
This-
maybe the goo fucks something up. Maybe the alcohol like eats through it. I don't know.
I'm just imagining Tom Hardy, grizzled, crawling through the post-apocalypse, throws open the doors to a micro center, and everything is off the shelves except 6 boxes of perfectly preserved gamer goo.
You know what? Then yeah, there you go. We're getting reports that it still
And then
stops sweat.
cuts to the title card, and it's like Mad Max.
Gamer edition. I want John's Christmas morning scent. I smell like
I really like that name.
yeah, John's Christmas morning. I want it to
so
smell
nice,
like
yeah. Oh,
it smell like
John's Christmas
cookies
morning.
and like pine needles.
It's his Christmas movie.
That honestly sounds like a proprietary tea you order. Like that's really what that sounds like. Like it's this is some John's Christmas morning. I really like it. It's really nice. It helps me calm.
I feel like I answered the wrong thing at the like I did the equivalent of dressing up for the family like Halloween party.
Yeah, you showed up as the Babadook and nobody else was dressed up.
Everyone's like, "Oh, I would love to smell like Earl Grey. It would be great."
You're like blood, guts, violence.
Okay, so genuinely, please. I have a perfume that on multiple occasions people have been like, "Why do you smell like you're not human?" And it is the strangest statement, and I love it every time because I was like, what do you mean?" And they're like, "You smell like the exhaust coming out of the back of a gaming PC."
Wow.
Look, I mean, that could be your gamer goose scent. I think that works. You're gonna smell like gaming. Then yeah.
That reminds me of the first time one of my girlfriends visited me a few years ago. She had this really strong perfume, and she told me that everyone tells her they can't smell it, but it was like the most smelling mint thing I have ever smelt in my entire life. And like, I think I said to her, like, when I told her, like, oh my God, how much are you wearing? And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, I smelt like the video game scent trail. Like I could follow it to find where you were in the house.
Sweetie,
Batman would find you
Sweetie,
so
I don't
easy.
know how to tell you this. I don't know how to tell you this, sweetheart, but you are a pine tree.
Yeah, like it was really like that, and it was like I was like, whoever's telling you they can't smell it is lying to you,
Oh my,
or get them help maybe
yeah.
if they can't smell it.
Give them a COVID test.
Oh, detective mode. Jesus Christ, Maverick. Oh my god. All right. In a similar vein, we also got a question from Niall here, who asked, if you had your own personal gamer hot sauce, what would the branding be? Which I will explain that as well, because a few weeks ago, James Rolfe announced that they're doing AVGN hot sauces. Or no,
I want the
Do we have
diarrhea dump. That's gonna be great.
I think
do we have to talk about the fucking evil ranch?
I mean, yes. I think one of them is like the the picture of one of them is like him as a bull sitting on a toilet. And
Okay.
yeah, and okay, one of them is like Monster Madness themed, so it's got like pumpkin flavor in it, which like that sounds nice actually. I would
I've
try
had
that.
pumpkin flavored hot sauce before. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that does sound pretty good. Lily is leaving because I do have to mention that the thing that they did not include with the 3 AVGN hot sauces is apparently Mike Matei also has a hot sauce. That is it's supposed to be his cum. It's supposed to be his nut, I guess. It's like Mike Matei's
Why didn't
white
he do an
sauce.
Inspector Gadget one?
I know. I mean, in the like
Because
description.
that's the first thing that comes to his mind when he thinks about Gadget.
That's true. I mean, in the description it says that it'll make you drop brown bricks, though. So he's cleaning that.
Come on, man. 2025.
It's
It's still the funniest video on that
yeah,
channel, probably.
yeah. Like I was like when I saw that I was like he should have just made a steak sauce. He should have made brown brick steak sauce, and I would have gotten it honestly. Like just like stupid ass Inspector Gadget steak sauce. I would have had that. But no, instead we have
It's a damning indictment of your character to a certain extent.
Dude,
Just saying, Inspector Gadget steak sauce, I'd buy that. Yeah, fuck it. I'd happily take my money.
I'm probably gonna buy the fucking AVGN hot sauce. I'm not above that.
Yeah.
Listen,
I think I'm buying the Thomas the Tank Engine ice cream flavor.
if it's good ice cream, I'd have the Thomas the Tank Engine ice cream flavor. I don't give a fuck. What are you talking about?
Is blueberry ice cream good? Because that's probably what it'd be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, why not?
Be good.
Lily, we're done talking about the horrible sauce. You can come back. Hello.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
All right, great.
We're gonna talk about our personal gamer hot sauces.
I have to get back on the mic. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay. Yeah, so here we can start with you this time, Lily. Do you have an idea for what so it's the branding. So I guess the flavor could be incorporated into that, but like what would be like the name and like the fun image on your hot sauce?
I feel like this does itself. Like hot sauce stuff is already so like smiling Jimmy's fucking Satan slapping sauce or whatever the fuck. Like I don't know, you just put me on the bottle and just put some bitch's hot sauce and it basically does itself.
Written in like Arial 11-point font, some bitches hot sauce.
I'd buy it.
Yeah. At this point, is there any like flavor stuff that you would want to incorporate?
Blood and surgical steel. No more questions.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I should have. Rose, how about you?
Something dragons. You can just go like dragon's breath or something like that. Really basic stuff. But I do want to say I want to, and this is something that I learned long ago from a local place that made peach hot sauce. It needs to have peaches in it because that peach hot sauce was like maybe the best hot sauce I've ever had in my life.
That does sound really good.
I was like so hesitant, but it was so good.
Everyone's making like the same proliferations of the same cayenne-based hot sauce.
I know.
Listen, India has had chutney to itself for too long. Use
Mhm.
fruits, use the
Yeah.
fun things. They
It
can be
adds
good.
flavor. It's that's the thing. That's my bit. I love spicy food more than anything. I am like a huge spicy food
Mhm.
person. Like I
Real?
am like yeah, I'll have like anything uh that's like crazy. But my biggest problem is when it's like if I go to an Indian restaurant, they'll have a good level of spice that's like, yeah, this is exactly what I want. I want it to be hot and I want it to like hurt a little. This is great. And then I counterbalance it with some of the, like you said, chutney, yogurt, stuff like that that they give you. It's great. And then when you have like not ghost pepper, because ghost pepper isn't that bad, but like the Carolina Reaper, stuff like that, that's not even a taste. Like that's
Well,
not
there's
even
there
taste.
is spice that exists exclusively for the ego of the person eating it,
Exactly. Yeah.
and I don't want to eat pain-flavored hot sauce.
No, I want it to be like a nice little zap, right? Like I want it to be part of the thing. I want it to be like a thing that I go, yeah, this is creating a sensation overall and helps balance this dish. Not this fucking. Every time I try so many different hot sauces, but every time I try one that's like literally like this just hurts you, I'm like, okay,
Or
This
like
is
cool,
making me want to get
anytime,
Indian again.
listen,
it's good.
it is not hard to buy capsaicin extract. It's not
Yeah,
that exciting.
just eat the seeds of a jalapeno and just like whatever.
Mama listens chili oil.
I hope that guy is like okay because I can just imagine that he is like secretly a government plant to make a super reactor a person.
Oh my god. All right, Nicholas, do you have a hot sauce branding idea?
Okay. This isn't me personally, but I'm giving advice to, okay, Dave Oshry, Akita, know for a fact none of you will listen to this. It's the easiest fucking thing in the world. Make like Ultra Kill Blood is Fuel hot sauce. It's the easiest thing ever. Make it
Yeah,
taste like
you're
blood
right.
and just sell it. You'll make $1 billion off of it. People
So
will buy that shit.
Oh, blood and surgical steel.
yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
blood and
say
steel.
like
Just make it taste like blood and steel.
just do Lily's hot sauce, but instead of it being some bitch's hot sauce, it's just Ultra Kill hot sauce. Okay, I mean that works.
Some robots hot sauce.
Yeah.
It's Gabriel's hot sauce.
Yeah.
Eat it up.
Gabriel's range sauce.
Shut up.
Yeah, like
that's what they
Oh,
would do with the merch they sell.
that is what
honestly.
they would do.
Yeah.
Gabriel's gamer goo. Oh.
I see a lot of posts about that on Tumblr.
No, no, no.
I don't want to see them.
I bet.
Some folks in the chat were talking about mango hot sauce, and I do actually
Yeah,
I
also
love
really
I
good. We have a
love
mango
mango and hot
habanero.
sauce. Oh my
Right
god.
now,
Just
and I
do
really like that.
fucking do a Crash Bandicoot Wumpa hot sauce, and then you can just make it taste like any fruit you want.
That's
Yeah,
you know
just
what?
whatever dealer's choice.
Mango, peach, apple, who cares?
The plasticity that comes from making a hot sauce, it's like the same thing with salsa, right? Like people don't know that like salsa fresca is not the only kind of salsa in this
Mhm.
world.
Mhm.
Have a drunken salsa at some point. Those are delicious.
World out
Trying
there.
to think about the branding. John would probably be like some sort of like creature collecting sauce. I don't know. It'd be like the fucking.
This is
So what you're
Groudon's
saying is
Big
that you would
Digger.
have so what you were
John's
saying is that
Christmas afternoon.
you would have 12 different hot sauces that only equal a complete flavor when you have all of them.
Wow.
Or I'll have
It'd be a
6
hot
like a
sauce
team of
calendar.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
John's hot sauce advent calendar.
Some of the flavors completely like overtake other flavors. It's like type differences in Pokemon.
But, I mean, yeah, no, it would just be hot sauce for dinner, and it would just have King Harkinian on.
I was I was thinking like you're gonna start naming them after like card sets, so it'll be like the Jungle Mysteries Pokemon set, but it's like Jungle Mysteries Hot Sauce. It's the
I mean, that just sounds
mango.
cool.
I don't know.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That's I'm trying to make it cool. It doesn't have to be bad.
No, yeah, that's fine.
John's lamp oil is so bomb it'll have you at the end of your rope.
Oh, I was Mothra Alita, I was gonna say that, yeah, the Malore advent calendar, well, all it is just an advent calendar and everything just has a little bottle of Malore in it, and that's it.
You can introduce these hot sauces by saying these are the faces of evil.
And you must conquer each. That is true.
John's faces
Exactly,
of
that's
evil.
the
Holy
Yes,
shit.
yes. Oh my god, yeah.
The spiciest one is you must die.
You must die. Yeah, oh, that's good as hell. Okay, yeah, we're doing that. Yeah, we're doing the faces of evil hot sauce. Who am I calling up? All right, last question. And this is from Maverick. On the trend of Gamesline sells out. What would your promotional tie-in dish be at the local nondescript diner? All right, so we're coming up with a dish now.
I didn't know we were on like the Food Network.
We're
this
just
week.
pitching stuff. I don't know. We're on fucking Shark Tank this week. I don't know what's going on.
All right, next, everyone say the ideal movie that you would want to be a star in. What celebrity would you want to play your sidekick?
Oh god.
What's
Do
the
that
name
next
of the
week.
street you grew up on?
Yeah.
What's your first pet?
What's your mother's maiden name?
Rose, you could start this one because you're
Oh,
the
gosh.
last one, I guess.
Yeah, I'm the last one. Oh god. Okay, a diner, huh? I mean, I love omelets. I make a lot of omelets.
If it helps, think of it as like your Final Fantasy 14 like promo cafe item.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, wait. Okay. Curry, and it's like that horrible blue Sonic curry. but
Oh.
It's like it's like red, like blood, like you always say, Lily, but it's like it implies that it's hot, but because we're woke, it's actually a fruit-based nice blend, counterbalance. So you think it's gonna be
Blueberry.
super spicy, and you have it, and it's like, oh, it's actually, a nice apple-based curry, apple and honey.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know exactly how you would do it, but a breakfast curry would be.
It would be interesting. You have to do something other than rice. I mean,
Yeah.
not necessarily,
Curry,
but
curry omurice.
Yeah.
I would crush
Yeah.
that.
You know what?
I would fuck
That
that
sounds
up.
great. That's exactly what I want.
All right, figure that out there.
And it'll be fruity. Like I said, it'll be fruity, so it's nice.
I want it. I want this now. Lily, do you have one?
I can't answer blood and surgical steel for this one, so I actually have to think about it.
I mean, you can. It's just gonna be a different kind of diner.
Flavored.
So I had the thought where it would be like a $300 item, but the reason it's $300 is because it's a really big hamburger, and at the center of it, like a bench-made knife is stabbed through it.
He's just doing the like fucking burger challenge from Persona 5. Is that what you're going for, or?
Yeah, and the hamburger bun has little horns on it.
Wow.
See, now we're fucking talking.
Evil ass burger.
You literally have me like in a server, I think, listed as evil red.
Nikolas, how about you?
Okay. So it'd be like a really, really big tiramisu thing. It's like tinted red all over, so instead of being brown and white, it's red and like it's dark red brown and then also a deep like velvety red. And it's like a tanuki tail from the Mario series. I was trying to come up with something funnier for tiramisu, but I just really like tiramisu, and that was the best I got.
We've got a bunch of red people in here, I guess.
Yeah, we're big on red.
But I will say one more thing about the hamburger, though.
Does it taste like blood and surgical tools?
No. you can only order it medium rare, and if you ask for it a higher level of doneness, the waiter will just bring the knife out and nothing else.
Stab it into the table and walk away. I would my dish would be some sort of like like appetizer sampler, and it would be brought out
Okay.
on like a train, and it would have there would be a little Kurt figure on the front of it. That's what
I like that.
yeah.
Collect them all. Collect every Kurt.
Yeah, I mean, I would love like little Kurt figures. That's like, oh, like the regular one. Here's one where he's got like an umbrella or something. I don't know. I don't know why umbrella is the Kirby. I guess I was thinking about Kirby. I guess I don't know.
It's
But-
like it's designed to look like a gachapon machine.
Sure. I mean, be down for that little gotcha figures. Whew, all right. Well, as fun as this was, which it was very fun. I do think we do need to wrap this up. Thank you so much, everybody, for being on. This is a delightful time. And this was a delightful time. Thanks to you all in the chat, and thanks to you all listening. Of course, if you like what we did, and I hope you did, because I thought, you can go to the following places to keep checking us out. We have our Blue Sky account, which is gamesline.net, because that is also the website that we have, gamesline.net. If you look that up on Google, you can go on that, or you can look it up on Blue Sky, and then it'll be on there as well. We don't use Twitter anymore. We also have a Tumblr, gamesline.tumblr.com. We don't use it as often, but sometimes people click through our stuff on Tumblr. I don't know. We have our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@the gamesline. You can go on there and check out VODs of all the stuff that we've been doing. And
You can watch such projects as me getting scared a lot
yeah, listen.
and getting owned by a door.
Yeah, genuinely, I loved streaming with Lily. I definitely want to do some more streaming with y'all sometime soon. Check those out
I've
for
been
sure.
waiting on the second chapter ones.
And yeah, those streams and this stream and other future podcast stuff will be on twitch.tv/GameslineTV. Go ahead and follow us on there. Subscribe if you so choose. Whatever you want to do. We appreciate it. If you want to send us money, you could do that through the Twitch thing, like I just said, or we have our Patreon, patreon.com/gamesline. $3 a month will get you, hasn't been a lot yet recently. We've been very busy in real life, but we're going to be coming back with the anime podcast soon. Fingers crossed. And you'll get that a week early. Right? Or if you just like what we're doing otherwise, support us through there. And we have a Discord.
You want us to keep doing this?
Yes, because we actually do need at least some money to keep going. Pay for hosting and all that. Like, we're okay right now, but the more money we get, the more cool stuff we get. Straight up. We appreciate it. And go to our Discord server, thegamezone.zone, if you want to chat with us. I've been trying to hop in there more, just chatting. Try to be on the call sometimes, too. See how it goes. We play some games. I don't know what we'll do exactly, but we'll see. And thank you to Melt Channel /Magic Circuit for our theme song Crush off of the album Magic is Real. Get their stuff at meltchannel.bandcamp.com or magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. And I will always recommend to do your purchases on the first Friday of every month, because that's Bandcamp Friday and they get the full cut. That is the best time to do it. Nikolas, where can people find you online?
People can find me at surcycactus.bsky.social. I draw cool art. I drew a Mithra with a friend that I posted just today. Go check it out. Go check it out. It's real cool. Go check it out. Go check it out. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
It is cute. Yeah. How about you, Rose? Where can people find you?
Father Morgana at bluesky.social. I also have the I need to do it more, but I have backlogged. I think I'm just Horn Gal over there. Go to backlogged. You can see a disturbing amount of games. It's like 893 right now. I still haven't finished. It is scary, but you know, we've been alive a long time.
True. You need to be alive for. Lily, how about yourself? Where are you?
So true.
On that note, uh, I can be found at galilis.ura.bsky.social, where I post my own gaming takes, my music taste, and occasionally my frivolous assessment of gaming culture as a whole.
And I mean, we posted about it before, but the most recent thing that we posted on the site, I think is other than last week's podcast, is Lily, your essay about the Bag of Milk series of games, as well as Zato, and, talking about the dehumanization of the mentally ill, etc., etc. It's a heavy topic, but I think it is well the humanization and dehumanization, I should say, because I don't want to misconstrue that, because the article is mostly about how Bag of Milk and Zato are good representation. I apologize for misrepresenting that. Excellent article though, Lily, and I'm not just saying that because friends and I run the website. Genuinely, if you can handle talk of heavy topics, it's you need to you need to go check it out. Please do. Thank you for your hard work.
It meant a lot writing it, and I talk about it in the essay, the difficulty of writing itself, but I just hope that, and I've said it before, but the thing that it was more important to me than anything was ultimately that people coming at their lives from that kind of experience, that kind of perspective, realize that they're not the only ones that felt that way. They're not the only stories that exist to be resonated with. And I think in a major way it is an important thing because ultimately, well, frankly, I have abstained from speaking on a lot of things because of the specific mental health perspectives that weighing in on certain subjects would require me to talk around. And with that information now being public, uh, it is what it is at the end of the day. And I think that a major thing that contributes to that kind of freedom that allows me to talk on that, it's liberating. And I hope other people can see it as liberating and not just a depressing slog of an essay.
No, absolutely. I mean, I cried reading it because it was hard. It was hard at times, but it was also, yeah, very inspiring as well. Being like, Lily is. I'm endlessly proud of you and your work.
Thank you.
And you can find me on Blue Sky. It's john.gamesline.net. I got the fucking vanity URL.
You got the online equivalent of the vanity license plate.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's cool.
It's pretty cool.
All right, but yes, thank you so much for listening, everybody. Thank you for sticking around as long as you have, and we will be back most likely next week with another episode of the Gamesline. Have a good.
Bye, everyone. Remember to buy my hot sauce.